And good evening. We are live here from Morgan City. Well, I guess you call it junior high school. Casey Gisclair here with Ken Freelander, Dallas Falls on the sideline. We're just a couple minutes away from this district matchup between the South Lafourche Tarpons, the visiting team, and the home team, the Morgan City High School Tigers. Ken, these are a couple of teams that are somewhat, I guess you could say, headed in different directions right now. The Tarpons are 3-0 in district play. They're riding high after getting a close, hard-fought win against Assumption last Friday, 20-18. On the other end of the spectrum is Morgan City. They're 2-4, 0-2 in district play. They're coming off of a hard-fought defeat against South Terrebonne, 34-20. Ken, that was a game that was tied in the fourth quarter, and then the Gators pulled away late. So they are showing that they're willing to play a four-quarter game tonight. The Tarpons' task is pretty simple: just keep the train rolling forward.
The Morgan City Tigers don't have the numbers that most of the other squads that South Lafourche has played or will play, but it's all about heart. It's all about listening to the coaches, making sure that you're conditioned and ready to play. So they do have some skilled players, and you never know what can happen. Certainly with South Lafourche, they're on a roll right now, and getting some players back and healthy. Jeremy Rogers has been missed the last couple of games, and that's a whole different story.
Yeah, we thought he was going to be back last Friday. Didn't get medical clearance in time to make the opportunity to start that ball game. He is a full go today, and he's going to be a welcome addition to that Tarpon offense and defensive lineup. He's been missed the last couple of weeks, so we'll see how big of an impact Jeremy Rogers can make. Now, for the Tarpons, man, offensively, it was sort of a tale of two halves last Friday. They were gashing Assumption early. Heck, they had 2 touchdowns in the first 3 minutes of the game. But after that, it was a grind, especially in that second half. Couldn't really move the ball much, and they had to rely heavily on their defense to close that one out.
Well, you're looking at Corbin Allen, who had 99 yards on 12 carries in the first half and finished with 19 carries, 113 yards. So he had 7 carries in the second half and picked up 14 yards.
And if you're stat tracking this game, Corbin Allen is 4 yards short of 1,000 on the season. So that first offensive drive, there's a good opportunity that he may do that. He would be one of the only guys in school history to reach the 1,000-yard plateau twice in his career. He did it his 10th grade year. Was a little beat up last year, and now he's 4 yards away here in his senior season. That'd be one heck of a feat for Corbin.
Well, let's hope he makes that and more on his first carry.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That'd be nice.
If he does like he did against Assumption, he may be able to make that happen. Last week, the Tarpons hit some plays in the passing game, Ken, especially that beautiful pass play from Bayo to Galjor right before the halftime marker there. I know Coach Forsythe said Monday at the quarterback club meeting that he's looking to get that rolling. Tarpons aren't going to throw but 8 to 10 times every Friday night. We know that. But they want to be efficient, and they want to hit a high percentage of those passes whenever they throw it down the field.
Well, you're looking at Brock Bayou catching, throwing to Jake Galjor multiple times. Jake caught 3 of them, 53 yards, and a touchdown. I think it was for about 25 yards. But if they get Brock Bayou going, look out.
No doubt. Let's thank some of our sponsors here for allowing us to be here. We've got an updated sheet here. Frank Super Value with locations in LaRose, Golden Meadow, Lockport, and DeZalmans. Southern Pipeline Services with offices in Raceland and Houston. Expert Technology, business IT support, voice over IP, and security surveillance for your home and business. Visit experttechnology.net. The LaRose Civic Center 44th Annual French Food Festival is October 27th through 29th. Monte Vegas Allstate offering financial services and insurance for auto, life, home, and more. Get a free quote now. Let's take a 3-minute break. When we get back, we're going to get some coaches' interviews with Dallas Falls on the field, as well as the home team starting lineup brought to you by Lady of the Sea General Hospital. We're about 23 minutes away from the opening kick between South Lafourche and Morgan City. Keep it right here. You're listening to ESPN New Orleans. The opening kick between South Lafourche and Morgan City is 20 minutes away. Let's go down to Dallas Falls, who has South Lafourche coach Blake Forsyth. Dallas, take it away.
Thank you, Casey. Coach, great start to last week's game, and a little bit of a struggle in the second half. Is there any way to fix those struggles that you had?
Yeah, it's just about heart and mentality. It's we got to keep the intensity up throughout the game and not think because we get out to a quick start that the game's over.
Right. And they had we having a lot of wins lately, and is there anything that you're putting into your players to kind of like just keep their heads on earth and try to keep taking each win as it comes?
Yeah, it's very simple. We talk about we just want to go undefeated this week, and every week we talk about be undefeated this week, and we hadn't accomplished anything yet. We're only a little better than halfway through the season, so nothing's been accomplished to this point. Great.
Is there any injuries concerning the starting lineup?
Possibly be without the kicker. Got a little nicked in start in warm-ups. We'll see what his status is as we go along.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, Dallas.
Thank you very much, Dallas. And we saw the young man trying to roll his ankle down there. We couldn't get a number on, but that was
Torres.
Torres.
Yeah,
okay, so that may be a big blow. We'll keep an eye on that as the night progresses. And Ken, we just got this word here. We got the basketball coaches here in the booth with us. South Lafourche High School boys basketball and cross country will be hosting a plate lunch fundraiser Friday, October 27th. White beans with rice, fried fish, and dessert, $10. Pickup time will be on campus from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You pick up at the North Bus Ramp at South Lafourche High School. Tickets may be purchased from any boys basketball or cross country player, or by completing the following info. You get some forms at school and fill out. So that sounds like a deal to me. 2 Fridays from now, get some fried fish and everything at the school.
I'm already digging in. I love that.
Looking at the teams warming up, we were very quick to point out that, look, throughout the season we've said, hey, South Lafourche doesn't have the numbers that they've had in years past, but Morgan City has fewer players than the Tarpons do tonight. Looks like sort of the attrition of the season is kind of worn on these guys. Curious to see how that, or if that has any effects on this game as the night rolls on.
Well, I know in past experience with South Lafourche, it's the recent past obviously, but South Lafourche and Morgan City, it's been competitive, but not what you'd like to see.
Yeah, I remember last year we had a quick night. We had a running time second half. But one thing to be concerned about is I was walking on that field earlier. The field is a little bumpy. They've got some divots, and we already saw one ankle get rolled in the pregame or whatever it may be. That is a cause for concern. Hopefully the Tarpons could take care of business, but also get out of this game healthy as well.
Yeah, you take that one or two missteps and you get in a hole, as we saw with Torres. I'm not saying that's what happened, but that's the logical answer. You just have to be careful.
Now, one thing that Coach Forsyth talked about Monday at the quarterback club meeting was earlier in the year they adjusted their personnel and they put Drake Billiot at middle linebacker back into that position. And Coach Forsyth said, look, our defense hasn't been the same since then. We've gotten much better since making that move. Feels like we call out Drake Billiot's name, Shane Billiot's name, Jacob Danos, those guys on defense a dozen times a night. That defense is starting to find some footing. And Coach Forsyth said this stat Monday, the Tarpons are plus 13 in turnover differential this year. You're going to win a lot of games if you do that.
ESPN 100.3.
My man's on the situation, Dallas.
Dallas has Morgan City football coach. Get the name here. Eric Howard. Dallas, take it away.
Come on. Hello. There we go. I'm here with Coach Howard. Coach Howard, struggling loss to South Terrebonne last week. Is there any preparations that you made fixing anything that could
look, we had a tough game last week. We started off pretty strong. Started to miss some tackles there in the second half. So we tackled a little better. We'll be fine.
Right. Is there anything on the offensive side that needed adjusting in that game? It looked like it was a high-powered game of offense. So was there any fixing on that side of the ball?
Well, we had some success early in the game. Scored a defensive touchdown. We were able to get some things going offensively. Just couldn't keep it together in the second half. And so we'll see if we can do a better job of that this week.
Coach, is there any injuries concerning the starting lineup that might have changed the starting lineup?
Absolutely. We got a few guys out, and you'll see those adjustments as the game goes. We'll be starting a new kid tonight at quarterback, so we'll see how that goes for us.
All right, well, good luck, Coach.
Appreciate you. Y'all have a good one, fellas.
Back to you, Casey.
Thanks, Dallas.
That can always be a problem when you lose your starting quarterback and you have to put his backup in. But at the same time, it's the next man up. Sometimes gives that player an opportunity.
And I guess on the flip side is it's a guy that Tarpons may or may not have seen on film, maybe a different look, and I guess we'll see how that plays out. Now, last Friday, you and I were up here talking about the LSU football team and how they were really struggling. They lost to Troy, and then now we said that it would be a huge game out in Gainesville at the Swamp. It wasn't ugly by any stretch of the imagination, but LSU did find a way to gut out a win. I think that tomorrow is going to be another opportunity to maybe get a signature victory. I think that's going to be one whale of a game tomorrow in Tiger Stadium.
I think something that's interesting is that Coach Ogeron let Matt Canada run his offense, and it was completely different, something somewhat unexpected on my part. And I don't know if I'm assuming they'll run something similar or a lot of similar plays, but throw in a few more wrinkles, and to see our quarterback running all over the place, that was a real shock. He took a bit of a beating.
Now let me ask you this: if you're going to pay almost $2 million a year for this offensive coordinator, why would you not let him run his own stuff? I mean, it felt like you're right. Everything did look a little bit different against Florida. I guess why try to rein him in?
Well, first of all, look at all the jet sweeps that they ran. We hadn't seen that much, certainly not against Troy. And if Coach Ogeron had it to do over again, he could run himself back a couple of weeks ago as far as preparation was and is concerned. He'd be hands off, and Coach Canada would have run that offense and really challenged to a greater extent, especially in the first half, that Troy defense.
Now, you were at the Nicholls State University Tim Rebo show on Monday. Coach Rebo obviously was very excited. They got a gutsy win against Northwestern State. What were some of the things he was most proud of in that win?
Well, I think the way the kids hung in there, with the cloud of the possibility of a storm coming through, sometimes that gets in the players' heads, certainly, and not having your starting quarterback in there. And Toscani Figueroa did a decent job of running the offense, but he's more of a runner than a thrower or a passer. But I know that Chase Forgate, coach, said that Chase was kind of came up to him late in the game and started tugging on Coach Rebo's shirt. He says, "Coach, you put me in. I'm good enough to get in there and play." And certainly that brought about that W for the Colonels.
The old Willis Reed routine.
Absolutely. Here comes Willis Reed.
We'll talk about the Saints a little bit at halftime. But, Ken, let's do this. Let's get our home team starting lineups brought to you by Lady of the Sea General Hospital for the Tarpons on defense.
All right. The defensive end on the left-hand side, it's number 13, Jordan Souza. Defensive tackle, number 78, Cameron Knockhand. Defensive tackle, number 53, Jacob Danos. And defensive end, Elijah Barnett, number 62. On the left-hand side, they play a couple of safeties up, at least on the paper. On the weak side, it's Rolando Garcia, number 7. Weak side linebacker, number 6, Shane Billiot. Middle linebacker, number 4, Drake Billiot. And the strong safety on the right side, that's Jeremy Rogers. Good to see him back in the game. Cornerback on the left-hand side, number 2, DeMarcus Kane. Marquise Francis on the right side, number 3. And playing free safety, number 22, Jelby Sheremy.
On the offensive side.
All right, here we go. Split end I call it split end the way it's lined up here on the paper. Number 18, Eric Thibodeau. Left tackle, number 73, Jai Ogeron. Left guard, number 76, Chad Sheremy. Center, number 50, Kieran Pate. And right guard, number 56, Daniel Dickinson. Right tackle, number 70, Gavin Zerang. And on the right-hand side, the split end, number 22, Jelby Sheremy. Tight end, Evan Kluche, number 85. And then we'll go to a couple of, if you want to call them wing backs, they're running backs, essentially. Number 11, Jack Blanchard. You have number 10, number 30, Jake Gauser. I'm numbering my players there. Jake Gauser, number 30, running back. And I forgot to look to see if he's 28 or 8. Casey will identify it when he comes out. And then number 16, Brock Bayer at quarterback.
Bayer is rocking and rolling.
Yes, absolutely.
Getting better as the year goes on, and he's hopeful to have a big day today. I'm trying to see the routine here. They got the ROTC guys at midfield, but Morgan City's not on the field. So I think we got time for a 3-minute break. You're listening to the pregame show between South Lafourche and Morgan City. We got kickoff in about 10 minutes. You're listening to ESPN New Orleans. At Morgan City Junior High School, about, let's see on the clock, about 6-7 minutes away from the opening kick between South Lafourche and Morgan City. Casey Gisler here with Ken Freelander, Dallas Falls on the field. Still no Morgan City team on the field just yet. The Tarpons are getting their last-minute instructions from Coach Forsyth. And it's crazy to think, I guess we say this every Friday night, but it's crazy to think we're already week 7 out of 10 here. Time flies by when you're having fun, brother.
Absolutely, it does. And I know it's about 6 minutes away from the scheduled kickoffs. I'm sure Morgan City will come out here soon.
Oh, here they come on cue. They're going to be wearing their green uniforms with the white pants. Tarpons in their white tops, blue trim. We already got the pregame injury report and injury timeouts. Going to be brought to you by Thibodeau Regional Medical Center. Jeremy Rogers is back in the lineup for the Tarpons. Morgan City has a couple of guys out of the lineup with injury. We've already given you the home team starting lineup, which is brought to you by Lady of the Sea General Hospital. The only thing left in our pregame is going to be the coin toss, which will be brought to you by State Bank and Trust Company. Dallas will give that to you in a couple of minutes. Scoreboard updates are going to be brought to you by Jimmy T. Jim Lafourche, candidate for Greater Lafourche Port Commission Seat E. Our video sponsors tonight, Dufresne Building Materials and Golden Motors. Thanks to those guys for allowing us to be live on the World Wide Web, ESPN1003.com or ESPN New Orleans on Facebook. Tarpons are about ready to run out to the field. Morgan City will do the same. Looks like some sort of breast cancer awareness night here. See some pink balloons.
It's that time of year.
Yep, it is that time of year. Tarpons are about ready to come storming out here.
I'm still waiting for your first cool front to come through.
That was the biggest mistake that I've made in my 1 year of calling play-by-play, is proclaiming that was going to happen. I'm told that there's going to be one Monday or Tuesday, but by next Friday it'll be gone. So we'll see. Tarpons are jumping up and down, and here they come. Here come the Tarpons. They take the field. We're having a hard time deciding whether the lights will be on or off here. Morgan City now will take the field next. It's crazy to believe, Ken, that next Friday will already be senior night for South Lafourche.
That's their last home game, hosting a very good E.D. White team.
That one has the possibility of maybe being somewhat of a district championship game. Both teams are undefeated in district play so far.
And there's Morgan City all set to go.
Like there may be some sort of band routine here. We're going to get the coin toss in just a minute. I'll thank some sponsors while waiting. Encore Training offering tumbling, gymnastics, cheerleading, and NFL training camps. Follow on Facebook or call 677-1032. Dean Blanchard Seafood Incorporated, home to the 100-pound shrimp special. Joe Septic Contractors, your largest sewage and portable sanitation company in Louisiana. Lafourche Ford, Lincoln, and Lockport. Before you buy, give us a try. Lady of the Sea General Hospital, compassionate medicine close to home. State Bank and Trust Company, banking you could count on, member FDIC. Looks like they're going to be doing some sort of release of these balloons here at Morgan City. Well, it looks like we're going to have our national anthem. Let's take a 3-minute break. You're listening to ESPN New Orleans. We'll be right back with the opening kick after this. State Bank and Trust Company, Dallas, take it away.
All right, Captain, shake hands, please. All right, South Lafourche Captain, you can call the coin toss in the air. If I drop it, we'll flip it again. Go ahead. You said tails. Tails is the call. It is heads. Heads. Morgan City, you win the toss. Coach said you want to defer. Is that correct? They're deferring. You want to receive. You want to receive, right? They're going to receive. Coach said you wanted to kick from the clock. Is that correct? Okay, put your back here, guys. Put your back here, guys. Morgan City wins the toss. And South Lafourche will receive.
Thank you, Dallas. Tarpon's going to be getting the football first. Now, Dallas, I'm going to ask a favor of you, brother. Get as close to the band as possible and pipe up your mic so that we can get the national anthem here played on ESPN New Orleans. That's the only thing separating us from the opening kick here between these teams. Usually we would just sort of stick our hand out of the press box, but can't do that today.
Absolutely not.
So the ROTC's making their way to midfield. We know that the Tarpons will have the football first. Dallas is out next to the band, and we're going to have the national anthem for you here in just a minute. And here they go. A very nice rendition of the national anthem by the Morgan City Band, and now I think we're officially ready to roll here. Morgan City won the toss, deferred. South Lafourche will get possession first. They're going to be kicking from left to right. Tarpons will be running from right to left. Tigers are in their green tops, white pants. Tarpons in the white tops, blue pants today. Two first-year head coaches, Eric Howard from Morgan City, Coach Blake Forsyth for South Lafourche.
I don't know how much of the super stat play chart I'll be able to keep since the lights have not have been on, off.
Number 47, Tristan McCullough, a senior, is going to be kicking it to South Lafourche. It looks like it's going to be DeMarcus Kane and Corbin Allen back deep to receive for the Tarpons. The ball is on the field. The teams are on the field. Waiting for the opening whistle and the opening kick. There's the whistle. And we are underway. It's a sharp kick on the sideline. Bounces at the 30-yard line. Someone's got to pick it up. I think the Tarpons fell on it, but that was awfully dangerous.
Wow. That was a real hot potato.
Yeah, it bounced straight up in the air. Morgan City charged the football, and the Tarpons do get on top of it. It was Shelby Sheremy on the recover at the 26-yard line, but that was awfully dangerous.
It's a kickoff you have to attack.
So the Tarps will play a 1st and 10 there. Strong side of the field to the right. They will come out in a 4-receiver set on the first play of the game. Happy you're with us here on ESPN New Orleans. Just underway. Trips to the right, Baya and Allen in the backfield. There's the snap, play action fake. Baya has plenty of time, shoots it deep down the field, and it's over everyone's head, incomplete. It was intended for number 11, Jack Blanchard, and he just overshot everybody.
And he was open. He was open. He just needed to throw it a little closer to the numbers that time. He'll get another chance.
It'll be 2nd and 10. Not a bad idea. All the film on South Lafourche's run-heavy offense, come out and throw the bomb on the first snap.
Not a bad idea at all.
Same formation. This time it's a counter to Allen. He's got a little bit of room out near the 30-yard line or so, right at the 30-yard line, so he picks up about 4.
And he is wearing number 28.
So it'll be 3rd and 6. Big snap here. The Tarpons don't want to go 3 and out on their first offensive drive. Be that same look. Looks like it'll be trips to the right, which is the strong side of the field. 3rd and 6. Morgan City playing man-to-man on the receivers. Baya hands it up the middle to Allen, driving forward, still pumping his legs. He's got a first down out near the 40-yard line. He was hit at about the 34, just kept dragging forward, got to about the 39 or so. That's a Golden Motors first down.
That's a nice, I'm going to give him credit for a 10-yard pickup there.
And he is now officially over 1,000 yards for the season, so congratulations to Corbin Allen. Now let's hope that he continues to go forward and doesn't give it back.
No, that's a good point.
1st and 10. Ball right at the middle of the field. Baya keeps it up the middle, bouncing around, gains a yard or so. I think he made a little stutter step, maybe cost himself a yard at the end of that play. He does pick up a couple out to about the 42.
He's got to wait for that moment where he can break one for double-digit yardage.
10:25 and counting in the opening quarter. South Lafourche with the first possession of the game. They've worked it to the 42-yard line here, trying to get across midfield. They play a 2nd and about 7. Galjor in motion. They hand it to Allen up the middle. He's out across the 45, still driving near midfield. The pile's being pushed forward, and he is right around the 50-yard line, which would be close to a first down. I think he's going to be about a half-yard short.
Chandler, who ran that?
So it'll be 3rd and 1.
Good run by Corbin that time. As you said, it's going to be 3rd and short.
They got to get to the 50. They're at right around the 49 or so now. Thought maybe we'd see that heavy package, and yep, here they are. The old Maryland Eye look for the Tarpons here on this 3rd and 1. Baya hands it to Galjor's got a big hole. 35, 30. Can they catch him? Excuse me, that's Rogers. And he's tripped up at the 13-yard line. That's Jeremy Rogers. Welcome back to the lineup, young man, with a big game.
Very much so. He cut that little crease, and he went a long way.
Had a big hole. Huge push from that offensive line. The Tarpons on the first drive get into the red zone. I see big number 56 for South Lafourche. Daniel Dickinson has to leave the playing field. He lost his helmet on that run. Tarpons at 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
That was unofficially a 38-yard gain.
Anybody listening at home, you're getting a little concert here. The Morgan City Band making some noise to our right. 9:07 and counting in the opening quarter. Ball on the right hash. Baya with Allen in the backfield. Galjor in motion. They hand it to Allen up the middle, driving across the 10, still pushing to about the 8-yard line, pick up about 5. So a good first down gain.
Very much so. Now they have wide side of the field to the left.
So maybe a sweep or something that way. 8:30 and counting. The Tarpons got it first and have driven down the field. They're now inside the 10-yard line. It'll be trips to the left. 4 receivers set. Baya rolls to the strong side of the field. Shoots it to, it's dropped there at the 4-yard line. It was intended for Jack Blanchard. He couldn't quite hold on. So
it was a little high, but certainly catchable.
Yeah, that's one they would like to have back. The situation there where maybe Brock set his feet there, threw it on the run. Maybe he didn't have to. He had some time. Be 3rd and 4 with Torres maybe unavailable. He may have 2 snaps to get it here. Baya sends Galjor in motion. They hand it to Allen up the middle. He bounces outside, inside the 5, drives forward. He's got a Golden Motors first down near the 1-yard line.
Number 54 kind of wrapped him up but threw him forward.
Yep. So Corbin gets the first down for the Tarps. It'll be 1st and goal at about the 1.5. Next snap will be inside of 8 minutes in the opening quarter. So good 4+ minute drive here for the Tarps. Maybe come with that Maryland eye again. Let's see. They're awfully close to the goal line.
I don't even know if he's a foot away, if the ball is that far.
They're staying in the gun. Baya, strong side of the field to the left. Hands it to Allen, and I don't know about that. He didn't get anything there. Maybe lost a half yard or so. Morgan City got a good push there up front. And Coach Forsythe says, you know what? We're not playing around anymore. They're bringing the heavy package in. They do lose about a yard on the play. Ball's back to around the 2-yard line. 2nd and goal. Jeremy Rogers, Drake Billiot, and Allen in a wishbone. Baya hands it to Rogers, and he's into the end zone. That's a touchdown for South Lafourche with 7:08 to go in the opening quarter. Jeremy Rogers punches it in from 2 yards out. And 6-0.
Nice little drive that time by South Lafourche.
Happy goes straight down the field and punch it in with the short touchdown run. And it is going to be, as we said in pregame, Talon Schick-Snyder in to kick the extra point. We saw Torres was in a lot of pain in warm-ups. We hope he's okay. Now Schick-Snyder's going to have a chance to boom one home here. Shelby Shermy on the hold. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is no good, wide right. So it's 7:06 to go in the opening quarter. The Tarpons lead 6-0. We'll be back in a minute. You're listening to ESPN New Orleans. It was a 74-yard drive unofficially for the Tarpons. They take a 6-0 lead with 7:06 to go in the opening quarter. Schick-Snyder will kick it deep to Morgan City, who has Devonta Grogan back deep to receive among a couple of other guys. So line drive kick bounces at the 20 and will be fielded by Grogan at the 10. Working the right side of the field, trying to bounce outside, and he's tripped up at the 22-yard line. Grogan better be careful. He was holding that ball out there. Tarpons are trying to pull it away from him.
Casey, you mentioned the 74-yard drive by South Lafourche, 12 plays, 4 minutes and 48 seconds.
Dallas, how's the sideline reacting to that early score, partner?
The sideline looks very relaxed right now. We're in a good lead, we're in a good rhythm, but we're not giving up any intensity yet. So we hope to bring this intensity into the defensive drive.
Thank you, brother. Coach Howard said Morgan City would have a new quarterback today. That looks to be Kerwin Francois, number 9. Or excuse me, that's number 4, rather. Devonta Grogan, the young man who just returned the kick. Francois is the tailback. It's a high snap. Rolls out to the right, looking for some room. He's out across the 25 to about the 26 or so. He picks up a good 3 or 4 yards. Looked like a run all the way there.
Yeah.
There were no receivers going out for passes there. So with a guy that looks like he's most comfortable running the football, Tarpon's defensive line needs to get a little pressure on him. Tigers have the ball in the right hash, strong side of the field to the left, out of the gun. Grogan rolls right, looking to run again. He's out across the 25. He doesn't get much there. There is a late flag that comes in. If that is a late hit, maybe a little ticky-tack, but we'll see. Don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. It would have been about a no gain, but we'll wait for the flag. Having a conference. Dead ball, personal foul on Morgan City.
Wow.
So that's going to be no gain on the play. They're going to lose the down, and they're going to go 15 yards back. So it'll be third and awfully long now. Still have second on the down marker, but they did say dead ball, which usually indicates the snap counts. The ball is back around the 13-yard line, and indeed it will be third down and long.
Now, if you want to, you can really put some pressure on the quarterback.
Yep. Grogan is going to fake the handoff, try to roll out. He's going nowhere in a hurry, though, because he's got an awfully long way to go. Breaking tackles, still breaking tackles, but he's dropped at the 23-yard line after a big hit. He made something out of nothing, and another late flag comes in. Boy, you sure hope that's not on South Lafourche, because they would get off the field here by forcing a punt. That was an awfully late flag. Dead ball, personal foul on Morgan City again.
Wow.
Somebody's playing through the echo of the whistle right now for Morgan City. Two straight late hits. So it'll be fourth down and a country mile after they walk this off. 5:56 to go in the opening quarter. South Lafourche scores, and now they're going to force a punt. The Tigers going to be in their own end zone catching this thing. You know what? In high school, if you rough the punter, it's not an automatic first down. I'm going after it here. Even if you rough them, it's not. They need more than 15 yards to get.
And we'll see what type of snap they have also. What can the deep snapper do?
Corbin Allen is at the Morgan City 40-yard line waiting for this kick, which will come from Tristan McCullough. Tarpons shuffling personnel around. Let's make sure they got 11. I'm counting 5. Well, anyway, the snap is,
I think they might have had 12. Let's see.
In the air. Allen muffs the punt, and Morgan City's on top of it. So hopefully that flag's on Morgan City, because if not, they've got the ball at the 41-yard line. Sloppy sequence, man. Lots of flags, and they're a muffed kick. South Lafourche special teams nearly had a fumble in the opening kickoff, and it's an illegal shift on Morgan City. So we're going to get away with one. Tigers can't get out of their own way right now. So they're going to move 5 yards back and re-kick it. I think there Corbin needs to be told, hey, look, if it's not coming right at you, just let it bounce. You're going to have golden field position. Tried to make a run and grab there, and he didn't come up with it. So the ball's back at the 7-yard line now. Corbin will move up. Look at this. He's at the 35-yard line. So Tarpons stand to get golden field position. I'm counting the Tarpons do have 11 on the field. The punter is in the middle of the end zone. The snap is a good one. The kick goes to Allen, and he will let it bounce at the 28. It rolls to about the 38, 39-yard line, and they'll down it there. So the Tarpons have great field position for their second offensive drive. 5:03 to go in the opening quarter. The Tarpon offense will have another opportunity here with far less ground to cover.
A great opportunity, as you said, Casey, from the 39-yard line of Morgan City.
Ball will be on the right hash. Trips to the left, which is the strong side of the field. Baya is going to keep it up the middle. He's got big yardage out across the 35, dropped at the 33. Picks up a good 6 yards or so on that one.
And I like the fact that he didn't allow himself to get punished by the defender.
Yep. So the Tarpons have continued to stay ahead of the chains. That's something they love to do. Don't get into 3rd and long. They're going to play a 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line, looking to add to their 6-point lead. Trips now to the right with the ball in the left hash. Brock hands it to Allen, bouncing off tackle. He's got a first down, still driving out to about the 26-yard line. Corbin Allen gets a Golden Motors first down. If you get 6-7 yards every play, you're going to stay on the field an awfully long time as an offense. That's what the Tarpons are doing right now.
You are, and you're using up the clock as well, and taking advantage of multiple mistakes by the offense of Morgan City.
So it'll be 1st and 10 out to about the 27-yard line on that last run. Ball in the right center hash. Bayo with a 4-receiver set, 2 receivers on each side of the field. Man in motion, Galjor. They hand it to him on the sweep, trying to get outside. Cuts in, out across the 25, still driving out to about the 22-yard line. Another late flag comes in. Galjor gains 5 on the run, but we'll see what the penalty is. We've got a personal foul on Morgan City. That's their 3rd personal foul in the first couple of minutes of this game. And we'll take it. That's 45 yards of penalties that they've handed them. Now the Tarpons will be at the 11-yard line.
Corbin has over 1,000 yards already.
Hey, Dallas, can you pipe down your mic, brother? We're hearing you. Thank you, partner. We like to hear Dallas converse, but not during the game.
He's our favorite Dallas.
There we go. 1st and 10 from the 11. Bayo hands it to Allen up the middle, driving forward at the 5, still driving. That's a touchdown for Corbin Allen. He was hit at the 5, broke a tackle, got into the end zone. It's 12-0 with 3:11 to go in the opening quarter. Great start for the Tarps. Dallas, what did you see there?
I feel that the big man on the line made that drive happen. The big man of Chad Cheremy and Daniel Dickinson are really pushing that defensive line back and getting called those defensive penalties. So I think they deserve that drive.
Thank you, brother. Schick Snyder's on for the extra point. And we have a stoppage in play. Let's see what this is about. I don't see a flag on the field. We have offsides on Morgan City, so he just blew his whistle, didn't throw a flag. But that is at least a 5th or 6th penalty for Morgan City early in this game. And now the Tarpons are going for 2.
You bring in the big package or what?
Yep.
There we go.
With the way they're moving the line right now, if you could go from the 3 to the 1.5, I like your odds here. Likely to see. Sorry, Ken.
4 plays, 39 yards, a minute 52 on that possession.
You see a wishbone here. Billiot, Allen, and Rogers. Bayo hands it to Billiot, and I think he's in. He is. You're not going to stop him for a loss of yardage. So it's 14-0 Tarpons, 3:11 to go in the opening quarter. Let's take a 60-second break. You're listening to ESPN New Orleans. And the kick is fielded at the 15-yard line. Morgan City trying to get outside, and they do an awful lot of running but go backwards on the play. That was number 9, Francois, on the return. And another late flag well after the return comes in. I don't know what this was, but, man, if this is on Morgan City again, that'd be their 4th personal foul penalty. This was well after the return, so this is a personal foul on someone. Let's see. Talking it over. You have a dead ball, personal foul, this time on South Lafourche. Trying to keep it close here, I guess. That's a 15-yard penalty.
I think it's interesting how many personal foul flags we've seen.
It's 4 or 5 of them here in the first 9 minutes. The ball will now go to the 28-yard line. And the Tigers will take over for their second opportunity. The high snap. They pitch it out there to the left, looking for some yardage. Boy, good job by Gallagher there, bottling him up. It looked like they had a chance for a big gain. Instead, he stops him after a gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 or so. Ball to the 32. 2:36 and counting in the opening quarter. Coach Forsythe said before the bus ride here he wanted a quick start. He's got one.
Absolutely.
Strong side of the field to the right. There's another high snap. He does feel that he's in a world of trouble. It's complete, but that's going to be a big loss on the play. Grogan had to lunge to catch that one, and Keyshawn Francois caught it, but he's back near the 25-yard line. That's a big loss. It'll be 3rd and about 13.
South Lafourche defenders are just putting their ears back and running upfield.
The Tigers got to be very careful with those snaps. That one nearly got over Grogan's head.
And that resulted in a loss of about 7 yards.
So they've got to get to the 37. They are at the 25, 3rd and 12. Fake the sweep. They keep it up the middle, and they're going nowhere. They lose about a yard or so on that one. And the ball, I think, may have come out.
No, it did come out. But they must have used the forward progress as the finality of the play.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to rule him down. The ball came out awfully late, and the Tarpons, Cameron Knockhand fell on it, but they're going to say his forward progress had stopped. But either way, you're getting the ball back here, as it is 4th and long. The Tigers will punt it. Corbin Allen will be at the 46-yard line to return this one. Tristan McCullough is at the 10-yard line. Tigers have had a disastrous start to this game. It's a line drive snap. The pressure is on. It's a high kick. Actually, not a bad punt. Allen will call for a fair catch and make it at the 46, 47-yard line. So, again, the Tarpons have good field position. Could have maybe been a 15-yard penalty. They didn't give him much room to make that grab.
They did not.
But the Tarpons will have golden field position with 43.5 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Ball in the left hash. Looks like it'll be a 3-receiver look. 2 of the 3 will be on the right side of the field. Baya and Allen will be in a pistol. Brock waiting on the snap. It's a stretch play to Allen. He's got some yardage. My goodness. Out across the 40, 35. Still driving to the 33. That's a big gain for Corbin Allen. And a Golden Motors first down. You could see as soon as he got that football, he had a huge hole. And he's out to the 31.
Good job by the big guys up front.
This could potentially be the last snap of the first quarter. 23 seconds and counting. Same formation. Ball now on the right hash. Baya hands it to Allen up the middle. This time he's hit near the line of scrimmage. Doesn't get anything there. And I do think that will be the end of the first quarter with our score South Lafourche 14, Morgan City 0. We'll be back in a minute. You're listening to ESPN New Orleans. 1 quarter down, 3 quarters to go. South Lafourche wins the opening period 14-0. They are driving in Morgan City territory here. We'll play a 2nd and 10. Again, Coach Forsythe couldn't have asked for a better start here. All phases are playing pretty well right now.
Absolutely, they are, Casey.
It'll be strong side of the field to the left as the Tarpons are now going left to right on your radio dial. Or on your computer screen if you're watching on ESPN1003.com. Baya hands it to Allen on the stretch. Out across the 30. Reverses his field a little bit. Drives to about the 25-yard line. Picks up about 6 on that run.
Nice little push downfield by the blockers for South Lafourche on that play.
Let's think about old 28 boy. He falls forward every single time. Nick Stassi and I were talking about that before the game. He just has a way to fall forward. They put his progress back to the 26-yard line there, so it'll be 3rd and 5. Got 2 snaps to get it here. You're in no man's land. Ball still on that right hash. It'll be trips to the right. The lone receiver on the far side of the field is Thibodeau. Got to hurry. 3, 2, 1. Baya barely gets it off. It's an option to the left. Pitches it to Allen. And he's going to have a first down and more. Reversing his field out to about the 17-yard line. That's another Golden Motors first down. Barely got it off, but then they found some gold there.
I like the job that Thibodeau did blocking downfield, because oftentimes you'll see a clip, a block on the back, illegal use of the hands, and he did none of that.
So the Tarpons will play 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. 10:50 and counting in the opening half. It'll be a 4-receiver set. Ball on the left hash now. Play clock down to 6. Baya hands it to Washington on the counter inside, and he's out across the 15 to the 13. That's Jacoby Washington getting his first touch of the game. So picks up about 4. Coach Forsythe said Monday they would look to get Washington a little more involved this week.
And that's certainly a good idea.
He's 2nd and 6 here. Still Baya and Washington. Brock hands it up the middle inside the 10, driving near the 5-yard line, still pumping his legs forward. My goodness, he gets down near the 2 or 3-yard line. And that's another Golden Motors first down. They just couldn't tackle that young fellow.
And that's what you get, Casey, when you keep pumping those legs. Keep the drive going forward.
He's out to about the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Tarpons. They're going to stay in a shotgun set here. Trips to the right. Baya and Washington in the backfield. There's the snap to Washington. He's driving, but he didn't get in that time. He maybe got a foot or so. In fact, he actually lost a yard there. That's the second time they have 1st and goal. They line up in shotgun, don't gain anything, and say, you know what, we're going with the big boys. So we're going to see the big package for 2nd and down. I think that's
in other words, no messing around. Huh?
No messing around. Ball's back now around the 3-yard line. Morgan City did get a good push there. It'll be a wishbone set. Nope, Maryland I set. Baya hands it to the last man through. That's Allen. He's pushing. He's at about the 1-yard line. Did he get in? I don't think so, but he'll be awfully close. Nope, touchdown. They say he got in. The ball crossed the plane, and the Tarpons take a 20-0 lead. Corbin Allen with the touchdown run.
Good job by the guys up front, and just enough of an opening for Corbin to score.
Dallas looked like the Tarpon offensive line got a nice push there.
Yes, definitely. The offense is really pushing right now. We have a great lead going into halftime, and I just can't wait to see what the second half holds.
Thank you, brother. Sheck Snyder on for the extra point. Swing and gate. Shelby Shermy throws a fade to Thibodeau, and he dropped it at the last second. Good defensive play there, though, by William LaRocca to knock it out of his hands. So let's take a 1-minute break. The Tarpons lead 20-0 in the second quarter. You're listening to ESPN New Orleans. And Schick Snyder kicks a low line drive that bounces at the 25 and dies at the 20. It'll be picked up there. They're trying to turn the corner, get outside a little bit, out to about the 34-yard line. That's number 9, Kerwin Francois on the return.
And Casey, that touchdown drive was 8 plays, 47 yards, 4 minutes, 12 and a half seconds.
Can't ask for much more. Interesting design on the two-point conversion. They snapped it to Shermy, who threw a pretty nice fade pattern to Thibodeau, but a good defensive play was made by LaRocca from Morgan City. Tigers will take over the 35-yard line. If I'm not mistaken, this is probably their best starting field position of the game. Same quarterback out there, number 4, Devonta Grogan, with number 9, Francois in the backfield. Drops back, throws it as far as he can down the field. They've got a step, but he overthrows everyone. Number 5, Deandra Grogan, had a step on Marquise Francis, but he overshot everyone.
Plus threw it out of bounds. Other than that, it was a great pass.
He showed it for nothing else. He's got an arm.
He does.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Tigers are not huddling. They get all their calls from the sideline. They're just lining up in this shotgun 4-receiver look. Be 2nd and 10. Morgan City looking for their first offensive success of the game. There's the snap. Quarterback looking to roll right, breaks a tackle, and now he's down near the original line of scrimmage. So good defensive play there by the Tarpon defense. It'll be 3rd and, yeah, he got to about the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10.
I think that was that Nathaniel Long putting some pressure on?
I think so. 7:48 and counting in the opening half. The Tarpons lead 20-0. They're trying to get a big 3rd down stop here. Grogan with Francois in the backfield. Straight drop, looking to run up the middle, breaking tackles, and the ball nearly comes out. He's down at around the 40-yard line. There's a flag on the field at the 35-yard line, and I think it's a hold on Morgan City. That's the initial indication. Coach Forsythe, well, that's maybe a hold on the Tarpons, actually. Yep, defensive holding called on South Lafourche.
What?
I don't know how away from the play a defensive back could have held there, but it's possible. It would have been 4th down. Now with the penalty, it may be a Morgan City 1st down. They're marching forward, and it will be a 1st down out to near midfield. So that's costly. And the Tigers will play a 1st and 10.
I guess we'll have to look a little more closely.
Yep. So Morgan City right at midfield, trying to trim down this lead a little bit. Grogan hands it on the sweep, trying to get outside. He's losing yardage there. Good penetration by the Tarpon defensive front. I think that was Rolando Garcia who made the stop.
I think Shane Billiot was in on the action as well. Nice job by the Tarpons.
So they're back to the 49-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 11. They handed it to Francois on the sweep. 6:48 and counting here in the second quarter. Strong side of the field is to the left. We're going to get some scoreboard updates here after this play. Waiting for the snap. Quarterback keeps it up the middle, out or across midfield, but not much more. Gains maybe 2 or so on the run. That's Grogan. It'll be 3rd and 9. Scoreboard updates brought to you by Jimmy T. Jim Lafourche, candidate for Greater Lafourche Port Commission. Lakeshore, the #1 team in the state in Class 4A, leads H.L. Bourgeois 16-0. West St. John 12, Covenant Christian Academy 7. E.D. White 21, South Terrebonne 6. That's at the end of the first quarter. End of 1, Ellender 7, Assumption 7. End of 1, how about this? Central Lafourche 7, Destrehan 0. How about that? End of 1, Honville 7, Thibodaux 0. Morgan City has a 3rd and 9. They throw a little slant pattern that's well behind the receiver. There is a couple of flags on the field, as has been customary tonight.
Ooh.
And it's an illegal shift on Morgan City. The Tarpons would decline that. They were trying to hit a slant, but I think the quarterback may have thought it was a hook because that was about 5 yards behind the receiver. So it'll be 4th and 9 at the 49-yard line. And the Tigers will at least show a punt. Corbin Allen standing at the 28-yard line. Number 47, McCullough, is the punter for the Tigers. Rush comes, and he gets the kick off on the sideline. Beautiful kick over Allen's head, and look at this. It's going to actually roll into the end zone for a touchback. Morgan City gets a little bit of an unlucky roll there. That thing hit at about the 15 and kept rolling all the way into the end zone.
I was watching him in pregame, and he did get off some good high spirals on occasion.
Why don't they use the long snapper to snap to the shotgun? He's zooming that ball to the punter. The shotgun snaps with some low-line drives, but the long snapper doesn't play around. It's a straight shot to the kicker every time. Tarpons have 80 yards to go and 5:38 to get there. They're leading 20-0. Ideally, they would take just about every second of that 5:38 if they could. Ball right at the middle of the field. Baya fakes it to Allen, rolls out, shoots it deep down the field. He's got a man, and it is incomplete. It was a little bit underthrown. Eric Thibodaux, though, got to come back to that football. And it falls incomplete. I don't know who that was intended for, because they had Blanchard
it was kind of
in the area as well.
More to the hash mark on the far side.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Boy, they took a shot there, and they had a couple of guys open.
I like the rollout action as well.
Yep. Trips to the right. Baya keeps it, swings it out to Blanchard, out across the 20, breaks a tackle at the 25. Look at him go out to the 35, across the 40. A late flag comes in. As it stands, it'll be a 1st down, but there may have been an illegal block or something in there. The flag is at the 36-yard line.
Unless there was a face mask.
So that was a big 20-plus yard gain for Blanchard, and it is a face mask. Good call, Ken.
That's why we saw Blanchard's head kind of turn a little bit. Perhaps some of that was involuntary.
5-yard variety out to the 46-yard line. Clock will start. 5:15 and counting. The Tarpons get 26 yards out of that pitch and catch from Baya to Blanchard. Ball in the right hash. Next snap will be inside of 5 minutes here. Brock hands it to Allen on the sweep, going on the left side across midfield, bouncing outside, now back in across the 45, across the 40, out to about the 35-yard line. That's another big gain for Corbin. They're going to mark him out at about the 37-yard line.
Another good job on this time on the left-hand side of blocking.
Yeah, we could shout them all out at this point. The offensive line's playing beautiful football right now. Jai Oger on Chad Sheremy, Kieran Pate, Daniel Dickinson, Gavin Zarang. Those guys have been opening up holes throughout the game. They put him out of bounds at the 36-yard line on that run. It'll be 1st and 10. 4:49 to go in the half. By sending Blanchard in motion. They hand it to him on the sweep. He's out across the 35 to about the 33. And let me tell you something. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, and he pushed forward. So that was a good job by Blanchard there.
He did a good job of cutting it back upfield.
Yep.
He said, I don't see any future in running wide. Took that little jab step and brought it to went inside the 35.
See, the Tarpons are taking their sweet old time here. They want this to be as close to the last possession of the half as possible, out of the 33-yard line. 2nd and 6. By a straight drop, he's hit as he throws, gets it to Galjor out to the 27-yard line, near the first down sticks. Boy, he was pressured by number 24, which is Maurice Charles for the Tigers. It'll be 3rd and about 2 or so after the short gain on the completion. Baya fakes the handoff, bounces it outside, out across the 25, still going. He's going to take it all the way. Baya's going to waltz into the end zone once he got outside. That was all she wrote. That's nice. A touchdown for the Tarpons.
Great ball fake, because first of all you thought maybe Corbin had it, then Jake had it. Nope. Brock Baya kept it. Scored 6.
Using your stud tailback as a decoy there. They all went, followed him, and Baya bounced outside. He could have pitched it. He could have done whatever they wanted to do. They had tons of room to the outside, and it's 26-0 Tarpons with 3:28 to go in the half. See if Schick Snyder could bang this one home. And Morgan City will help him out by jumping off sides before the kick. Coach Forsythe saying, you know what? We need Schick Snyder to get a little confidence here, stay on the field. Nope, never mind. They're coming off. I thought he was signaling for them to stay on, but he was saying, no, we want the yardage. So they're going to put the ball right around the 1-yard line. Tarpons are going to try to make it at 28-0. It's that big formation. Wishbone. They hand it to Billy out up the middle, and he is in. So the Tarpons take a 28-0 lead with 3:28 to go. See, Dallas, you've switched sidelines now. I got a feeling it's a little bit of a different vibe here on the home sideline for Morgan City.
Yeah, their mood is just down in the dumps, really. They knew that this would be a great challenge. They were coming in with a little bit of pep, but that pep has just gone downhill since this 28-0 lead. So maybe they could pick it back up, and we'll see what they could do in the second half.
Thank you, brother.
Again, 6 plays, 80 yards, 2 minutes, if I could read my handwriting, in 10 seconds.
Joe Septic Contractors, your largest sewage and portable sanitation company in Louisiana. Lafourche, Ford, Lincoln, and Lockport. Before you buy, give us a try. Lady of the Sea General Hospital, compassionate medicine close to home. State Bank and Trust Company, banking you can count on, member FDIC. Danos, servicing our area as a progressive oil field service company. Vision Communications, your local provider for TV, internet, home security, and automation. Learn more at viscom.net. Tarpons have controlled this game throughout. They lead 28-0 with 3:28 to go in the opening half.
And it hasn't gotten ugly yet, but
Schick Snyder to kick. And he bombs a line drive down the field, bounces at the 20. It's picked up at the 15 by number 4, Grogan, reversing his field, trying to get outside, and he's dropped at the 27-yard line. So the Tigers will take over there. See, that defense has one last stand in them in this half. It's been a good performance in all areas so far. Ball will be on the left hash, strong side of the field to the right as Morgan City plays a 1st and 10. Tigers have played Grogan throughout this half. Not sure who their normal quarterback is. Gotta hurry. There is the snap. They fake the sweep. The quarterback keeps it up the middle, and he gets a yard or so out to about the 30-yard line. The middle of that Tarpon defensive line collapsed very quickly there. That was a good job there by Jordan Souza, closing up that hole. Inside of 3 minutes now. Tigers don't seem to be in much of a hurry here.
It could be they don't want to give the ball back to South Lafourche.
Yep. There's the snap. They roll out to the right. He's hit as he throws, and it falls incomplete. The pressure was being applied.
Threw a flag. They threw a flag.
By Ben Dassow, and as Ken said, there is a flag at the point of contact, and it's roughing the passer. I started to look up the field. I didn't see if he hit him late, so I can't critique that either way. But it will be a first down.
Yeah, it was a bit marginal, but.
So it'll go now to the 45-yard line. If there is an area that both of these teams would like to clean up, it has been a lot of flags in this opening half. Morgan City will have a 1st and 10 with 2:36 to go in the half. Looks like they'll have trips to the right when play resumes. Grogan waiting for the snap. Man in motion. There is the snap. He rolls out to the right, being pressured, shoots it down the middle of the field, and incomplete is intended for Francois. He was open, but it was a low throw. And probably the reason for the low throw was because he was being heavily harassed by that defensive line.
He was.
So 2:31 now on the clock. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Getting their call from the sideline. Play clock down to 10. Now 6. They've got to hurry. 1. They didn't get this off. The play clock is on 0. They're going 5 yards back. So that'll be a delay of game on Morgan City. And the ball now be at the 40-yard line. 2nd and 15.
Be interesting to see if we can get the stats again at halftime from Coach Brian Kale. See what Corbin Allen has.
They run a little pitch play, turning it up the field, getting some yardage, then reversing their field and losing some of that yardage out just shy of the original line of scrimmage. They pitch it to number 9, Francois. He gets to about the 44-yard line. I think I just overheard he's got 101 yards, Corbin Allen does, on the opening half.
14 carries.
3rd and 11, inside of 2 minutes now. Morgan City, as Ken said, maybe not overly anxious to give the ball back to the Tarpons here. 6 seconds. Boy, they're going to be pushing it again. 2-1, they do get it off. The quarterback rolls to the right. He's hit near the line of scrimmage, and he's driven back, and down he goes at the 46-yard line. So the Tarpons get a stand. Coach Forsythe, in theory, I guess, could call a timeout, but it doesn't look like he's going to do that. This will be 4th and about 8 or 9, 1:20 and counting. We're getting a little bit of chatter here. We're right next door to the Tarpon coaches, hearing some of the conversations they have going on next door. McCullough is punting for the Tigers. Allen is back. There's the snap. The kick is high in the air. Allen going back, calls for a fair catch. He makes it successfully at the 18 or so, 19-yard line with 51.3 seconds left in the half. With a 28-point lead, you would think a couple of runs here. If you break one, great. If not, you go to halftime feeling pretty good about yourself.
Absolutely.
Actually, the ball's right at the 20-yard line. Tarpon's got 14 in the first quarter, 14 so far in the second quarter. They have a 28-0 lead with 51 seconds to go in the half. It'll be trips to the right. That's the strong side of the field. Boy, if he breaks the line, he's gone. Everybody's on the line of scrimmage. Baya fakes it to Allen, has plenty of time. Now he rolls out to the left, and he's going to keep it out across the 20, gets out of bounds near the 25-yard line. They're going to mark him out at around, let's see where they're going to spot the ball. At about the 24, picks up a couple. So 42.4 on the clock. I don't believe the Tarpons have called a timeout, so they should have all three at their disposal. Trips to the right. Baya rolls that way. Has some time. Shoots it over the middle. Caught by Galjor around the 35, and he's going to, I think, get out of bounds at around the 42-yard line.
Nice catch by Jay. Good pass.
So it is a Golden Motors first down. He's going to be marked out at the 41. Let's see, did they say he was out or in? There's 32.7 on the clock. Yep, the clock didn't start, so he did get out of bounds on the Golden Motors first down. First and 10 for the Tarps. Trips now to the left. And there is a flag on the play. Does Morgan City have 12? I think they may.
12, I think so.
He is physically counting them all off right now. And we have a dead ball, 12 men on the field on Morgan City. That is a 5-yard violation. And, well, we'll take the 5 yards now out to the 46. 3-man front for the Tigers. Baya fakes it to Allen. Swing pass to Galjor. Out across midfield, across the 45. He's going to get out of bounds at about the 43. Heads up play there by Jake. The officials let a little extra lanyap time run off the clock there, but it does stop with 22.7. He's out to the 41-yard line. Nope, now they move it back to the 42-yard line. Tarpons are on the move here, but time is not on their side. 22.7 seconds in the half. Trips to the right. Baya rolls that way. Has plenty time. Shoots it deep down the field. Jelby Sheremy's there, and it is going to be, it falls out of his hands when he
got bumped
the
in
ground.
That's a good call because the defender ran into him.
Yep, at the last second there, the Morgan City defender, number 9, Francois, sort of nudged him. And look, that's, as a defender, that's kind of a wise play because it would have been a touchdown if not for that. So it's pass interference on the Tigers. The Tarpons will advance 15 yards on that penalty, but it could have been a 41-yard touchdown if not for that little nudge right before the ball got there. So now there's 13.1 seconds on the clock. I got all 3 of my timeouts, and everyone in the stadium's expecting me to pass. I'm giving it to Allen here. You're at the 27-yard line. Ball on the left hash. Trips to the right again. Baya waiting for the snap. Straight drop, a little swing to Allen, and he gets out of bounds near the 21-yard line. That play takes only about 4 or 5 seconds. There's 8.1 on the clock. This is where you would love to have Torres available, because this is getting to his range here.
Yep.
8.1, you got 1, maybe 2 snaps here, depending on how you play your cards.
Let's see if they keep using the sideline.
Trips to the right. Baya rolls that way. Got some time. He's going to look to run. He's inside the 15, inside the 10. He steps out of bounds, and oh my goodness, they got to add some time there. He went out of bounds with 2 seconds left. And if that's the end of the half, that is highway robbery. He was out at the 10-yard line. Let's see what they do with the clock. Morgan City's running to the locker room. Let's see. Yeah, I made a look as soon as he got out of bounds. There was at least 1.5 on the clock. They're talking it over now. It would be first and goal, not that that really matters, because they'd have one snap regardless.
Brock's jogged over to talk to a coach, just like he can hurry up and set up a play.
Morgan City's coaches are not happy, so that means they are going to add a little time here. I mean, it's the right call. He went out of bounds with 2 seconds on the clock. So the Tarpons will play a first and goal right at the 10-yard line here. This will be the last snap of the half, barring a defensive penalty. How about this offensive drive for South Lafourche, man? They've gone all the way down the field here, out of their comfort zone a little bit, a lot of passing plays. And Coach Forsyth, Morgan City will call a timeout. I thought maybe South Lafourche would call it to talk about the play. But Morgan City is going to call it simply what it looks like to just complain to the referee.
I think that's what it is.
It's been a long half for those guys. I mean, Dallas, correct me if I'm wrong, it sure looked like he went out of bounds with about 1.5 or so on the clock.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that one, Casey. And apparently on that last play, the second reason for that timeout was they missed some defenders that had already headed off to the locker room, so he had to call a timeout either way.
Wow, thanks for that. So the Tarpons are going to have one last snap here. They haven't reset anything on the clock. Not that it's all that important. This is going to be the last snap regardless. The ball is right smack dab at the 10-yard line on the right hash. It's 28-0. The Tarpons are looking to get a little insurance here. It's going to be a 4-receiver set, 2 receivers on each side of the field. Bayo waiting for the snap. Straight drop. Throws it to Allen. He catches it at the 10. He has to make a man miss. He cuts inside. Drives him into the end zone for a touchdown. Boy.
Nice drive. Nice play.
Tarpons put a big-time exclamation point on that drive. They make it 34-0. This extra point will be the last play of the opening half. A dominant opening half for South Lafourche. Shake Snyder. The gate closes, and hopefully we can get a good snap and a good kick here. Waiting on the snap. It is good. The kick is up, and it is also good. So that is the end of the first half. It was a pretty good one for South Lafourche, folks. They lead 35-0. Let's take a 3-minute break, our halftime show. You're listening to ESPN New Orleans. We'll be right back after this break. 13th, you would expect some weird things to happen, but not here so far as South Lafourche leads 35-0 at halftime over Morgan City. But let me tell you something. Around the area, there are some kind of weird scores right now as we go to this scoreboard update brought to you by Jimmy T. Jim Lafont, candidate for Greater Lafourche Port Commission Seat E. Halftime score, Central Lafourche 14, Destrehan 14. How about that?
Wow.
Halftime score, Honville 27, Thibodaux 0. Halftime, Assumption 20, Ellender 15. Into the first quarter, it was Terrebonne 7, East St. John 6. And Joey D reminds us that in the college game, Syracuse is leading Clemson 17-14. Man, some crazy things happen on those Friday night college games sometimes. And Clemson, the defending national champions, are trailing Syracuse right now, who, quite frankly, I thought they played well in Tiger Stadium.
They did.
So maybe they're a little better than what everybody thought they were. But here, it's been a very one-sided affair. We've got some halftime stats. I want to thank Coach Brian Kale and the guys down to our right for giving us these numbers. Let's see. Total yardage in the opening half. It was, as we said, a one-sided affair. South Lafourche with 315 yards of offense. Morgan City with 19. Let's see. South Lafourche was 4 or 5 on third downs. Rushing stats, 26 carries, 226 yards as a team. Morgan City, 12 carries, 11 yards as a team. Passing, Bayo was 5 of 10 with 48 yards and the late touchdown to Allen. Morgan City was 1 of 5 with -7 yards passing. So really, I mean, we can give some individual stats in just a minute, but up and down the totem pole, everybody for South Lafourche really had an easy go in the opening half.
Well, there are two things to look at. Morgan City's defense had a very difficult time stopping the Tarpons on offense, and then conversely, not a whole lot of offense for the Tigers.
Baya passing was 5 of 9, 74 yards and a touchdown. Receiving, Jake Galjour, 3 catches, 33 yards. Corbin Allen, 2 catches, 15 yards and a touchdown. Corbin also had 14 carries, 101 yards and 2 touchdowns rushing. Brock Baya, 5 carries, 52 yards. Jeremy Rogers, 2 carries, 40 yards. Jake Galjour, 1 carry, 15 yards. Jacoby Washington, 3 carries, 14 yards. And Jack Blanchard, 1 carry, 4 yards. And that rounds out your stats for South Lafourche High School. One of those situations Coach Forsythe likes to get a lot of guys touches, and we saw that, be it Blanchard, Galjour, Jacoby, Corbin. Everybody got involved in the opening half.
They really did, and that's what I like. Distribute the ball, keep everybody happy, and that offense just kept rolling.
Now, we noticed something. You and I said this before we got on the air. On our official roster sheet this week, we've got a lot of 9th graders here that are listed that are not normally on the varsity roster. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of clean jerseys perhaps play in the second half as the Tarpons look to get out of this game clean and try to keep rolling into their season.
And certainly, Casey, that's a good idea.
No doubt about it. So let's do this. Let's take one more 3-minute break. When we get back, Ken and I are going to talk some LSU, some Nichols, some New Orleans Saints, and then we'll get Dallas involved as well. It's halftime here at Morgan City. South Lafourche leads 35-0. You're listening to ESPN New Orleans. The clock says 6 minutes and 15 seconds until the second half, but they're probably going to add 3 minutes to that as Morgan City High School's band just got done playing near midfield. It's 35-0 in favor of the Tarpons here. Casey just there with Ken Freelander. Dallas Falls also on the field tonight. Ken, there's a lot of sports going on around the area. LSU's going to be home tomorrow. The Nichols Colonels are going to be home tomorrow. I think the Colonels got a big game tomorrow. They want to keep that momentum going forward. They've won a couple in a row, and I think that they would like to keep that adrenaline going in the right direction.
And certainly, you especially want to win it at home. So, just keep on piling up the points, play some good defense, and come out with that W.
Now, we promised in the pregame we'd talk about the Saints a little bit here at halftime. They've got what I think you would consider to be maybe a sort of a crossroads game here coming up. They're going to be playing Detroit at home. Detroit's a pretty good team. You know, they've kind of feasted on Cam Newton when Cam Newton wasn't playing well, kind of feasted on Cutler. Matthew Stafford's going to be a little bit more difficult to contain. I think the difference between 3-2 and 2-3 for this football team is kind of big at this point. I think that's a huge game. Las Vegas favors New Orleans by 4 points, but I think it's going to be a tough go. I mean, I'm not saying that they won't win the game, but I do think it's going to be a big-time challenge from Detroit on Sunday.
I'm really curious to see, take a look at the Saints on defense and see how their back seven, if you want to call them that, the linebackers and the defensive backs. Let's see how they play. I think that's a key.
Now, it looks like for the first time this year, New Orleans is going to get Teron Armstead back on the left tackle, protecting Drew's blind side, which will shuffle everybody around on the offensive line, but it should make everybody be back in the position where they're most comfortable. So we'll see if Breeze has a little bit of time to throw. Now, look, that Detroit front seven is pretty doggone good. They don't give up very many yards. Heck, they came to the Superdome a couple years ago and beat New Orleans, so we'll be curious to see how that shakes out.
Yeah, really. You want to have your best guys playing on the offensive line. You get Armstead back. That's part of the completing the puzzle.
Were you surprised to see that Les Miles is going to attend the LSU game tomorrow?
It does not surprise me because he's a stand-up guy, and I think that he went through a tough time last year, but and I hope that the LSU fans are receptive to Coach Miles saying, yes, I'll be proud to be with my guys from 2007 and kind of take it from there.
And look, the ending of the 10-year was kind of bad, but the 10 years before that were an unquestioned success. You win a national championship, you go to a couple of national championship games, win the SEC numerous times. I think whenever Nick Saban left for the Miami Dolphins, if you would have told me, hey, look, the next guy's going to do all the things that Les Miles did, you would have taken it and run as fast as you can with it.
And I think that he's earned respect. I know it went kind of south the last season and a half for him. And I don't know if, he put in a good number of years, and I think that you have to reflect on that. He did get you a national championship, albeit, as the wise guys like to say, it was with Nick Saban's talent. But yeah. you can have a great racehorse, but if you have the wrong trainer and the wrong jockey, it doesn't matter.
No doubt. So Dallas, let's go down to the field now at Dallas Falls. The Morgan City Band has just gotten off the field. What are some things you're looking to see here in the second half between the Tarpons and Tigers?
Well, from the Tarpons' point of view, I'm just ready to see them take their time, maybe get some freshmen, some sophomores in, freshen up their offensive drives and their defensive drives, and just have fun with the second half. From the Tigers, I hope to see a little bit more intensity on this side, especially on that last drive. I saw a couple of communication errors between the coaches and the players. Hopefully they could clean that up and maybe have some points put on the board in the second half.
Now, it looked like to me, knock on wood, Dallas, it looked like all the Tarpons sort of got out of that first half injury-free. Didn't see too many guys getting up slowly or anything like that, huh?
No, not at all. Jacob Danos was a little shaken up with his ankle, but he finished out the rest of the half strongly, and that was the only thing I saw. Great job by the trainers on the Lafourche Tarpon side to keep them fresh and keep them ready.
Cool deal. Thanks, buddy. As Dallas giving us some notes from the sideline, remind everybody tomorrow the Sports Corner from 8 to 9 tomorrow. We're only 1 hour because the LSU pregame starts at 9 o'clock. So you've got Sports Corner at 8, LSU pregame starting at 9, then the LSU kickoff and everything at 2:30.
But just think how much information and action will be packed into that 60-minute slot.
Have you ever talked to me at 8 o'clock in the morning, Ken? Apparently not. You don't get very much information out of me that time in the morning. Let's take a 3-minute commercial break. When we get back, the second half kickoff between South Lafourche and Morgan City. Our halftime score, 35-0 in favor of the Tarpons. We'll be back. You're listening to ESPN New Orleans. About a minute into the second half begins here at Morgan City Junior High School. South Lafourche on top of the Tigers, 35-0. Casey Gisler with Ken Freelander and Dallas Falls. Both teams about to make their return to the field. We're going to be playing some football here in just a second. I want to remind everybody. Well, first off, we got a scoreboard update brought to you by Jimmy T. Jim Lafont, candidate for Greater Lafourche Port Commission seat E. It's St. Augustine leading John Curtis with 9-8. Joey said, I believe.
I think so.
The Purple Knights leading John Curtis. And I want to remind everybody with the update sponsored by Jimmy T. Jim Lafont, go out and vote tomorrow, man. They got some things on the ballot, some amendments and some different things of that sort. So exercise your right to vote. This is my old civics teacher who may be listening, Mr. Mark Semino, once said, if you don't vote, you can't complain about anything.
There you go.
It's a motto that I always stand by as well. Morgan City won the toss. They deferred, so they will get possession here in the second half. For the Tigers, I think the goal sort of just is, hey, just kind of get some sort of momentum, some sort of good feeling here in the second half.
Have half the penalties called against you that you had in the first half.
They only had, 13 yards of total offense. They had at least 60 yards of penalties. That's usually a recipe to be down 35-0 at half. For the Tarpons, you want to keep the train rolling forward, but you want to keep all your top 22 healthy as well. Schick-Snyder will be kicking it. Number 4, Grogan will be back deep to receive. Tarpons will be kicking from left to right. And we've got 24 minutes of football left here on ESPN New Orleans. And waiting for Schick-Snyder's kick, and we are underway. It's a line drive kick, bounces at the 25. It's fielded by number 19, Tingle, versus his field out across the 35. He's tackled at the 40. That is Dylan Tingle on the return, and Morgan City will have good starting field position.
Good return on that kickoff.
Dallas, what you got, brother?
Just a quick note. I want to give a quick kudos to the Tarpon defense. Usually you hear in the past games about our defensive backs and our middle linebackers making these huge turnovers, but I want to give a quick shout out to the defensive line, who has really been putting in a lot of work tonight, pressuring that backup quarterback and pressuring that backfield.
Very well put, Dallas. Opening half, the Tarpons did not force a turnover, just got him off the field on every single drive. Devonta Grogan with the ball in the left hash. 1st and 10. Snap, they fake a counter, now fake an option to the outside. He's driving forward, gets about 3 or so. Takes a vicious lick at the end of that play. We've got about 4 actually on the run. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Kind of turned around once he hit the line of scrimmage and backed into that yardage.
So the Tigers with their first second half possession, they've got a lot of work to do here. They're out of the huddle. Quarterback does look a little slow. He did take a big shot. Let's see if he runs it again here. This time he hands it off, trying to bounce outside, and he's losing yardage. Good job by the middle of the Tarpon defense there. They handed it to Francois, and he went nowhere. Excuse me, that was DeAndre Grogan, number 5 on the carry. Sorry about that. Devonta Grogan, DeAndre Grogan. I wonder if there's some sort of relation there. But let me tell you, they both took big shots on the last 2 plays.
Absolutely. He lost a couple on that carry.
He 3rd and about 7. Ball back to the 42-yard line. Heck, 3rd and about 8, really, because the sticks are at midfield. Play clock down to 5. They don't look set yet. They better hurry. 3, 2, 1, and it's going to be a timeout for Morgan City.
And that's because they did not get the play in from the sideline quickly enough.
Yeah, they were there. They just kind of thought about it a little bit too long, so they'll take the timeout with 10-13 to go in the 3rd quarter. And they play a 3rd and 8 when play resumes. Gives me a chance to finish my sponsor sheet here. Golden Motors, where price is priority. Highway 3235 on the back road and cutoff. Total Urgent Care. Get in, get out, and get well. Highway 3162 in front of Walmart and Galliano. State Senator Gary Smith, best of luck to all area teams. Thibodeau Regional Medical Center, leader in bringing the latest and best technology to our region. And a new addition to our list, Fletcher Technical Community College. Thanks to everyone's for sponsoring Tarpon football here on ESPN New Orleans. 3rd and 8 for the Tigers. Grogan out of the gun. Rolls right, being pressured. He breaks the first tackle. There is a flag on the play, and he's dropped by Rolando Garcia at around the 44-yard line, so he's well shy of the first down. Where the flag is, it looks like it'd almost be an illegal shift kind of thing, maybe an illegal formation. It is an illegal formation on Morgan City, and I think the Tarpons will be well served to decline that one. Some wide receiver who was not on the line of scrimmage needed to be on the line of scrimmage. The Tarpons do decline the penalty. The quarterback run gained about a yard or so out to about the 43-yard line, and Morgan City will punt. DeMarcus Kane will go back to return it for the Tarps. Tristan McCullough, number 47. He's gotten a lot of action today, which is not usually a good sign for a punter.
His leg may be getting a little bit tired.
Yeah. Kane standing at the 25-yard line. They get the snap off. It's a high, wobbly kick. Get away. This is the old poison punt. It bounces dead backwards and will be downed at about the 41-yard line. So that bounced at about the 37 and went straight up the field for the Tarpons. Then on the second roll, it went a little bit backward.
And that was a situation where there was enough push up front by the South Lafourche Tarpons. It caused the punter to kind of short leg it a little bit. You don't want to get it blocked, so you kind of pop it up in the air.
The Tarpons will play a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. We see the ones are out there for this drive. If they put one into the end zone, that may be the end of the night for those guys, though. Strong side of the field to the right. Baya hands it to Allen up the middle, out across the 45, out across midfield. He's tripped up at the 45-yard line of Morgan City, maybe the 46. That's a Golden Motors 1st down and a gain of about 14.
Boy, he looked quick on that play.
I was talking to Corbin. He was nicked up all year last year, and I was asking him how he was feeling. And he said, man, I feel great. So we certainly hope that continues. He does get the 1st down there. 9:20 and counting in the quarter. Galjor in motion. They hand it to Allen up the middle. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped. So that's pretty much no gain there. He maybe gained a yard. Out to the 45 or so.
Trying to run over the right-hand side. Just didn't have the push that time by the offensive lineman.
Next snap will be inside of 9 minutes as we're there now, 8:55 and counting. Be 2nd and 9 for the Tarps. Ball on the right center hash. It'll be trips to the weak side of the field. Thibodeau, the lone receiver on the far side. Baya hands it to Allen on a little counter. Is trying to bounce outside, and again he's hit. He doesn't get much. Maybe a yard out across the 45 to the 44. So good job by the Morgan City defense there. Number 10, William LaRocca, held on to Allen and dropped him.
They need a big play for this 3rd down to keep this drive going. You've seen some success with Brock Baya rolling out. Sometimes you'll hit that little swing pass to Jay Gouger or whomever else is in there.
So if for nothing else, the Morgan City defense playing with a little pride here so far on this drive. They've gotten a good push 2 plays in a row.
You've had Jelby open on some pass patterns as well.
Baya rolls left. Boy, they got plenty of yardage. Baya's going to keep it. Now pitch it at the last minute to Allen. He's got a 1st down out across the 35 to about the 34. That's going to be a pickup of about 10 and a Golden Motors 1st down. Coach Forsythe said Monday at the quarterback club meeting, hey, man, our option game's got to get better. So far tonight, they've run it successfully.
Brock did a good job of running that play because he waited as long as he could until he pitched it out to Corbin Allen.
So the Tarpons are on the move again, 7:30 and counting in the 3rd quarter, looking to add to this big lead. Baya hands it to Allen on the sweep. He cuts back inside, drives forward, gets a yard or so out to about the 32. That was number 24, Marquise Charles on the stop. We've called Charles' name out a couple times now. ESPN1003.com. If you're watching us, give a shout out to everybody taking advantage of that wonderful service. We get, heck, about 1,000 views per game. Hope to have a big audience again tonight. 4 receiver set. Baya, straight drop. It's a screen. Now he rolls right. Shoots it out to Blanchard. It's caught. Oh, he dropped it at the last second. He had it in his hands, but at contact, it came loose. It looked for a second like they were developing a screen, but that was just a Morgan City defender that got through the line of scrimmage. Baya put it on Blanchard's numbers, but he couldn't quite hang on. Number 10, William LaRocca, hit him and forced it out of his hands.
In case you mentioned being able to watch the games via, I think, three different choices. And I have people come up to me and say, I really enjoy that aspect of ESPN New Orleans and their coverage.
We're going to look to, the truck was maybe talking about possibly a swim meet later on in the year, maybe a volleyball playoff match. We've got some things in the works. As there is a whistle, the down marker says second down, but it is third down, so good eye by the official. 3rd and 8. Tarpon's got to get just across the 25-yard line. Bayo rolls left. Shoots it on a cross, and Blanchard dropped it again. That one hit him in the hands and maybe felt a little bit of contact there. Logan Tingle hit him. So the old coach once said, you're going to get hit anyway. Might as well bring it in.
Might as well catch it. 4th down.
So it'll be 4th and 8. As we said, the Tarpons got to get to the 24-yard line. The offense will stay on the field. You're in no man's land. You can't really punt it from here. Bayo with trips to the left. He rolls that way. He is being pressured, and he throws it to Gaujor right across the sticks. That's a Golden Motors first down. What a grab. That is a beautiful pitch and catch. I think he got the first down. They marked the football a little bit further back than I thought it was, but it is a first down for the Tarpons.
Good decision by Brock to get the ball to Jake.
And look, he was under duress. Marquise Charles was right in his hip pocket, but he put it on the money, and the Tarpons get the first down and keep the drive alive. Inside is 6 minutes now. Couldn't have asked for more. You got a big lead, and you're chewing up a lot of clock, keeping possession of the ball here. Trips to the right. Bayo fakes it to Allen, now throws it to Blanchard on the short pass, getting some good blocking out across the 15 near the 10-yard line, and he fumbled the football, and Morgan City's got it. So the Tigers were recovered on the turnover at the 15-yard line. Blanchard was fighting for some extra yardage there, and the Tigers pulled the football out. With 5:38 to go in the third quarter. Jack had a couple of drops, and then he finally brings one in. He's trying to fight for extra yardage, and the Tigers pull the ball away. But the defense got to pick him up here.
Not a bad idea at all, Casey.
See number 80, Dylan Emard, in the game on the defensive line. Tigers roll out their quarterback to the right. He's being pressured. He breaks away from the first guy, shoots it across the middle. It's intercepted by Rolando Garcia at the 38-yard line. He threw it across his body. There is a flag. They may have hit the quarterback late. And boy, that would be a shame. That's roughing the passer on the Tarpons. It negates an interception. It was another instance where as soon as the ball was thrown, I started looking up the field. I didn't see if they hit him late or not, but the official did throw the flag. And that'll be a first down for the Tigers. Boy, that's a shame.
Absolutely.
He threw it across his body. Rolo was there at the 37-yard line to bring it in. But now the Tigers will regain possession with the ball to the 30-yard line. Devonta Grogan, the young sophomore, waiting for the snap. He rolls out. He's being pressured. Emard hits him. He's dropped at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Number 62, Elijah Barnett, makes a stop with Emard. 5 minutes and counting here in the third quarter. Got a feeling it may be an early night for us, partner. I don't see that clock stopping very much for the rest of this game.
It may not.
2nd and 10 for Morgan City at the 30-yard line. There's the snap. They roll right. Shoot a little pass. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Number 7, Keyshawn Francois, caught it. Couldn't get an ID on the young man who made the stop, but they do lose about 4 yards on the play.
It was Rolando Garcia on the stop, Casey.
Thank you, brother. 3rd and 15 now for the Tigers. Yeah, look, their young man playing quarterback right now has had a tough night, but in fairness, there are not very many quarterbacks that could, I mean, he doesn't have any time to throw.
No, he's on the run the entire time.
And Grogan, speaking of that, he's now limping off the field. So he's not going to be in for this snap. Number 39, Tate Alicina, is going to be the quarterback for this play. Alicina drops back. He's being pressured, and down he goes at the 15-yard line. Who got him, Ken? It's 54, Nathaniel Long, I believe, on the sack.
I think you're right.
And it is 4th and a mile, and the Tigers are going to punt. Yeah, you could have your starting quarterback, your backup quarterback, whatever quarterback you want. He just doesn't have any time to throw the football. The Tarpons are getting a lot of pressure right up the middle.
It's just a matter of survival for Morgan City.
Kane standing at the Morgan City 47-yard line awaiting the punt from McCullough. The last one, the Tarpons nearly blocked, and they forced sort of a shank. Snap is there. The kick is high. End over end kick. Kane will field it at the 48 of South Lafourche, and he calls for a fair catch, and the Tarpons will take over there with exactly 3 minutes on the 3rd quarter clock. Dallas, what you got, brother?
I was talking to Corbin before the game starts, before everything at school. Of course, after we finished our classwork, I talked to him about the 1,000-yard mark, and he said, "Hey, I don't care if I get 0 yards tonight or if I hit that 1,000-yard mark. If we get a win tonight, that's all that matters." So I think that Corbin Allen has a bright future wherever he goes, and I can't wait to see what he does the rest of this season.
Thank you, man. Tarpons will have a 1st and 10 at the 47. Bayo with Allen. They handed to Corbin on the sweep on the right tackle. Gets across midfield. There's a flag on the play, and he's maybe going to take this one to the house. He breaks a tackle, and he will go into the end zone, but I think it's coming back.
Probably a hold on South Lafourche.
It would have been a 53-yard touchdown run, but there was a hold on the Tarpons that will negate it. And you know what? That's a block that may or may not need to be made.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it hurt even more. So instead of a long score, it'll be negated by a hold, and now it'll be 1st and about 20. So now the Tarpons will have to regroup here. 2:47 to go in the 3rd quarter. I think they're just trying to figure out where to spot the football. We've had a little bit of a debate here. That is far more than 10 yards, and I don't know that that block happened behind the line of scrimmage.
I'm not so sure about any of that.
5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Syracuse 24, Clemson 17. Thank you, Joey D, for that update. I would love nothing more than for Clemson to lose tonight. 1st and long for the Tarpons. Baya hands it to Washington up the middle. He's driving near the 40-yard line. He's dropped at about the 39. And as I say that, Clemson scores. It's now 24-24.
Yeah.
2:30 and counting here.
But at this point, it's not as if Clemson is running away from Syracuse.
That's right.
Didn't LSU play them?
Sure did. We were awfully ashamed of beating them by 9 points. Maybe it wasn't such a bad thing after all. 2nd and long, the Tarpons have to get to the Morgan City 43. They're at their own 40 now. Baya's going to keep it. Work in the middle, now bounces outside. He's got a big gain, trying to turn the corner. He's out across midfield to the 49. So Brock picks up about 11 or so yards. Gets a lot of that penalty yardage back. How about this halftime score? E.D. White 42, South Terrebonne 12.
Wow.
That's who we got next Friday, E.D. White.
Absolutely, that'll be a barn burner.
Halftime score, Terrebonne 21, East St. John 12. The Tigers continue to roll. Here the Tarpons play a 3rd and about 5. Bayo waiting on the snap, trips to the right. Straight drop. He's being pressured. It's going to be a screen, but it's batted away, and Bayo got rough there. Number 24, Marquise Charles, hit him a little late. And that white hat official has now called 3 or 4 roughing the passer penalties. That's something that he's keeping a close eye on, and the Tarpons will get a first down on the penalty. That is at least a half dozen 15-yard penalties on Morgan City today.
They've not helped themselves.
The ball now be at the 33-yard line with 1:14 to go in the 3rd quarter. Tarpons getting their cues from the sideline. Give Charles credit. He did get a lot of penetration, but maybe got a little bit over antsy. Bayo and Allen in a pistol. The ball on the left hash. Brock hands it to Corbin up the middle. Bounces outside. He's out near the 25. Picks up about 8 yards on the run. Just keeps working, man, like the Energizer Bunny. Keeps his legs moving forward.
He pulled away from a couple of defenders or would-be tacklers.
It'll be 2nd and 2. Inside of 50 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. Bayo fakes it, now throws a little pass to Galjor Boy. Maybe a little behind him. It falls incomplete. He did have some room, though. That was nice play design. Yeah. Fake it to Allen and throw the little pass down the seam. It was perhaps a little behind, Jake.
And certainly not a bad call with the down and distance in your favor.
Yep, you got 2 snaps now to jam it in if you want to run it. 37 seconds on the clock. Bayo this time, he hands it to Allen on the outside sweep. He's got the first down. Still driving out to about the 16-yard line. That's a Golden Motors first down for the Tarpons. Tell you what, though, on this drive, Corbin's taking some licks and up 35 late in the 3rd quarter. I don't know how many more licks I'd let him take. Tarpons don't have to snap it again if they don't want to. But they are approaching the football. Bayo gets the snap, hands it to Allen up the middle. Driving forward near the 10-yard line. He does pick up some yardage. About 5 on the play, and that will be the end of the 3rd quarter with our score, South Lafourche 35, Morgan City 0. We've got one more quarter here. You're listening to ESPN New Orleans. Fourth quarter begins. Let's throw it down to Dallas Falls here. Dallas, what you got, brother?
On the defensive side, number 24 looks a little shaken up. It looks like he cut his breath or something. They loosened up his shoulder pads a little bit. And as you saw in the last drive for the Tigers, their quarterback that they started with is having some back problems. It looks like he keeps rubbing his back. They put some kind of medicine on it. Hopefully he gets better. And they're going to come out now with number 39 when they get back on offense.
Thank you, brother. Tarpons will play a 2nd and 5 here on the first snap of the 4th quarter. It's Washington in the backfield with Bayo. They hand it to Jacoby. He's got a first down, still pumping his legs inside the 5 to about the 4. So that's Jacoby Washington on the first down run. And it will be a first and goal situation here. I think Coach Forsythe sort of saw what we saw, which is Corbin did take a couple of big shots. And now let's maybe give Jacoby a touchdown opportunity. First and goal from the 4. Baya hands it to Washington off tackle, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown for South Lafourche. It's 41-0 with 11:27 to go in the game. A touchdown run, 4 yards from Jacoby Washington. He hit the hole very nicely there. And the Tarpons add to their lead. Schick-Snyder on for the extra point try. Shelby Shermy on the hold. Snap is a little high, but he does get it down. The kick is low and below the crossbar, so it falls no good. It's 41-0 now at 11:26 or 11:27 to go in regulation. We'll keep it here because we just had the end of the quarter break. See if we can maybe find a scoreboard update or two to give to you. Into the third, St. James 48, Haynes Academy 0. Let's see if there's anything else. Let's get an update on that John Curtis game. Let's see. Trying to find the sheet here. We have St. Aug. How about this? St. Aug 16, John Curtis 8 midway through the third quarter.
Wow.
Go Purple Knights, baby. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but yeah.
On that possession and that score, 8 plays, 53 yards, 3 minutes and 33 seconds.
Schick-Snyder getting ready to kick it off. The Tigers have number 5, Deandra Grogan, back deep. These kicks have all been about the same. Line drives, they bounce at about the 25-yard line, usually right down the middle of the field. Let's see if this one's any different. Schick-Snyder approaches the ball. He kicks it right down the middle of the field. This one's a little deeper, and it's going to be dropped by Morgan City. Now they pick it up around the 18 and try to turn the corner. Boy, that kid's moving. There is a flag on the play, still breaking tackles out across midfield, and he's going to house this. That's number 9, Kerwin Francois, takes it to the house, but I don't think this is going to stand. There's a flag at the 26-yard line, and what few Morgan City fans are here are not going to be happy if this one comes back. There's been a penalty-stricken night. It is an illegal block in the back on the Tigers. Adding to their penalty totals for the night, they'll now be inside the 20 after the block in the back. Francois made a nice move there, though, man. He did show some speed in the open field as well. So the Tarpon defense will get onto the field. They've got to go much more this way. They're near midfield. The ball's going to be way back inside of Morgan City territory based on where the flag is. Yeah, that's going to be inside the 15-yard line. Nope, at the 16-yard line. So when it's not your night, it's not your night, man. Tigers just can't catch a break.
And we'll see what they do with the clock, either this point of the possession or maybe after the possession.
Dallas did inform us that there will be a new quarterback, Tate Alessina. We saw him in the last drive. Strong side of the field to the right. There's also number 27, Hayden Barron, in the backfield. That's another clean jersey for the Tigers. And Morgan City will call a timeout.
They may be missing a player, let's see, or it's a misalignment.
Yeah, that doesn't look like 11 to me.
10.
Yep, so they didn't have their full allotment as a big offensive lineman now runs onto the field. That is their second charge time out of the half, and his coaching staff is letting him hear about it.
So get on the same page as everybody else.
That's been a problem really from the very beginning here for the Tigers tonight. Remember the first drive, they had 2 or 3 late hit penalties. Sort of marched the Tarpons down the field, and since then there's been no looking back. So now 11-10 to go in regulation. Tarpons ahead big. Alicina with Hayden Barron, as we said, out of the gun. There's the snap. Straight drop. Looking for some room, and he's going to be dropped just across the line of scrimmage by number 80, Dylan Emart. I don't see a flag. I'm with Ken. I thought there was a little motion there. In a 41-point game, maybe they thought better of it.
I think you got it exactly right, Casey.
It'll be 2nd and 8. See number 49 in for the Tarpons. That is Joseph Pierce. He's a freshman. Number 14, Austin Danos. He's a 10th grader. There's the snap. Straight drop. Some pressure up the middle, and down he goes. There's going to be a loss of about 2 on the play. There were a number of Tarpons there applying some pressure. It looked like number 21 got him. That's Aaron Vestal, a freshman.
Looked like Dylan Emart in there as well.
Dylan's done a good job. He's gotten some snaps tonight, done an excellent job. Seeing Jacoby Washington now playing defensive back. Number 49, as we said, Joseph Pierce. Kevin Hernandez in at cornerback. And they're all trying to get a 3rd down stop here. Straight drop, good pressure off the edge, and they throw a slant that is batted and falls incomplete. It was intended for number 5, DeAndre Grogan. He went up and tried to Odell it, and it fell to the turf comfortably.
Jacoby Washington in on pretty good coverage that time.
And the Tigers are going to punt the football. Number 14, Austin Danos, will go back to receive. Good opportunity to get everybody some reps here in these final 9:42. A lot of reserves defensively there on that drive, and they batten the hatches and got a stop. McCullough waiting for the punt. There's the snap. It's a high kick. Danos calls for a fair catch, and he makes it successfully at the 46 or 47-yard line. So let's see. I got to think that this may be the end of the night for Bahia. Let's see who will be under center. I think we're going to be seeing a little Austin Danos in the center here. Interesting stat about Austin Danos. A lot of folks don't remember this. He actually scored the first touchdown of the season for the Tarps against De La Salle.
That's right.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. 9:35 to go in regulation. The Tarpons are going to get their 5th win of the season tonight. They're going to improve to 4-0 in district play. Danos is going to have Jacoby Washington in the backfield with him. They handed Jacoby off right tackle. He gets maybe 2 yards out across the 45. Clock running down. It'll be inside of 9:20 now. Tarpons have done exactly what they set out to do here. They've taken care of business in advance of what's going to be a big-time matchup next Friday against E.D. White. 2nd and 8. Danos hands it to Washington. Driving forward, gets to about the 42, 43-yard line. Stays in bounds, of course. It's an inside run. And it'll be 3rd and about 6 or 7 or so.
They got that one off with, what, a couple, 3 seconds left, and I see no reason to divert from that.
Yep, take your good old time. See if they allow Danos to try a short pass here on 3rd down. This time he's going to keep it up the middle, out across the 40, near the 38 or 39. He's going to be shy of the 1st down, but it's going to be close enough to where they may consider trying for it here.
Gained about 4 yards on that carry.
Is inside of 8 minutes. With the big lead, you could just punt it back to him here if you'd like. But they're getting some reps for a young quarterback. Maybe want to keep him on the field. They got to get to about the 36. They're at about the 38 now. Washington in the backfield with Danos. They hand it up the middle, and he didn't get it. He's going to be dropped after getting back to the line of scrimmage. So Morgan City forces a turnover on downs. Good job by the Tigers defense there, stiffening up. There's now 7:22 to go. Tarpon's in front, 41-0. Knowing Coach Forsythe like I think I do, I don't know that he's so much worried about putting anything else on the board here, but I do think he doesn't want Morgan City to score. You want to protect that shutout.
I could very much understand that.
Alicina is the Morgan City quarterback. He is joined by Barron in the backfield. Ball right at the middle of the field. Straight drop. Now he cuts in and throws it down the middle, and it is going to be nearly intercepted. Boy, number 5, DeAndre Grogan, had to play defender there because Hernandez nearly intercepted that one. And another situation where the Morgan City quarterback just kind of running for his life there.
Yeah, good pressure up front by the Tarpons, and the secondary had it well covered.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Tigers have 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Drop back. Here's the pressure again. He steps up, and he's in the grasp, and down he goes. Number 95, Matt Mathenia gets the sack.
That was a big-time bear hug.
There you go.
And a loss of about 6.
Number 93 for the Tarps, Ben Dassau's helmet came off, so he has to leave the playing field. It's going to be 3rd and awfully long for Morgan City. 6:40 and counting. Tigers got to get to about the 48-yard line. They're at the 32-yard line now, so that'd be 3rd and awfully long. Straight drop, rolls out, throws it over the middle, and it is incomplete. Number 14 for the Tarpons, Danos, was in coverage, got there right as the ball got to Keyshawn Francois, and the Tigers will punt it. Dallas.
That was a quick 3 and out, Casey. Huh?
Dallas, a lot of clean jerseys in there, making some plays for the Tarpon defense, huh?
Definitely, definitely. I love the rotation that the Tarpons are having right now. Seeing Aaron, a freshman, I know him very well. Going to have great future here at South Lafourche. And Big Red, number 95, as we like to call him, getting that sack. I like to see that intensity out of the entire Tarpon team.
Thank you, pal. Looks like Danos back to receive the kick, nearly blocked. It's a high, wobbly kick. It'll bounce at the 45 and bounces kind of sideways. It'll be down to the 47-yard line. Tarpons will take over with 6:07 to go in regulation. Well, Ken, last week you surpassed your win total from 2016, getting your 4th win. Oh, my goodness gracious. Someone just chucked the football and belted the siding there.
Sign him up.
I don't see any slingshot or anything. I think that was just an arm. That was a cannon.
Boom.
But anyway, back to what we were saying. Now you're going to guarantee you're not going to have a losing season getting your 5th win tonight. That's a great honor.
Absolutely.
Danos Hands it to Washington, kind of fumbled the snap a little bit. Jacoby gets to near midfield, picks up a couple.
It was almost a look of the old-time draw play.
Yep. 5:53 and counting. You know what? After this next play, let's remind everybody about that basketball fundraiser one more time. Tarpons will play a 2nd and 7 here. If you get a few first downs, there won't be too many more snaps. Be the rate that they're spotting the football here. Danos keeps it on the outside. He's got some room out across the 45. He may take it. 25-20, 15-10, 5. Touchdown, Austin Danos. And I don't see any flags. Now 47-0 Tarps. Number 14, Austin Danos, the sophomore, breaks one. They've been running inside. They popped on outside, and there was nobody there. The Tarpons are going to bring the extra point team out one more time. Schick Snyder trying to get a little confidence. We don't know how long Torres is going to be out for. Snap is down. Kick is up. I think that one's wide left. Nobody got it. He put it home. Sorry about that. It's 48-0. Tarpons in front. 5:15 to go. We'll keep it right here and remind everybody that South Lafourche High School boys basketball and cross country will have a plate lunch fundraiser Friday, October 27th. Here's what you get for $10. You get white beans with rice, fried fish, and a dessert. Pickup time will be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You could pick up at the north bus ramp at South Lafourche High School. Tickets may be purchased from any boys basketball or cross-country runner or by filling out a form, which you could get at South Lafourche High School's front office. $10 to get some lunch, support Tarpon basketball, Tarpon cross-country. Can't ask for much more than that.
Absolutely not. That last scoring possession for South Lafourche, 2 plays, 53 yards, and it looks like I wrote 52 seconds.
5:15 in regulation. The Tarpons lead 48-0. Danos with the long touchdown run. I know that felt awfully good for that young man. Looks like Schick Snyder will be in to kick it. Morgan City Band playing a little tune. You know the Tigers will be hungry to try to find the end zone here. And here's the kick. It is a pop-up kick. The Tarpons may be able to get on this one. It bounces backward. There's a fight for the ball. And I think Morgan City did fall on it at the 36-yard line. Third quarter score, Lakeshore leading H.L. Bourgeois 37-0. West St. John 45, Covenant Christian Academy 7. Into the third, Hanville 41, Thibodaux 7. Into the third, Destrehan 28, Central Lafourche 21. Into the third, Assumption 26, Ellender 15. Those scoreboard updates brought to you by Jimmy T. Jim Lafont, candidate for Greater Lafourche Port Commission, Seat E. 5:10 to go here. The Tigers are at the 37-yard line after the little pooch kick. They still have Alicina at quarterback. Straight drop. Throws it deep down the field, and it is going to be over the head of number 5, DeAndre Grogan. Had a bit of a step on Jacoby Washington, and Grogan is down on the sideline, maybe a little cramping, as there's a flag on the play. It's roughing the passer. This guy has a quota of roughing the passer. He calls about 5 or 6 so far tonight. I don't see any sideline arguing about him, though, so maybe they are getting a little anxious when they get close to the passer. Morgan City will now be out across midfield to the 48-yard line. 5:02 to go in regulation. Grogan's going to try to stay in the game. I don't know how you could. I mean, the officials had to stop play. He's got to leave the field.
I think so. The referee's going to probably tell him that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely had to stop it and walk some trainers over. And I mean, the young man's feeling better now, but you do have to leave for a play. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Another straight drop. Being pressured off the edge, and down he goes. Number 54, Nathaniel Long, drops him for a big loss back on the other side of the 40-yard line. Nope, right at the 40-yard line. Tarpons are just getting such great pressure off the edge. They're beating the tackles around the edge, and then when he steps up, the defensive tackles are right there to trap him.
And it's certainly difficult to roll out as well.
2nd and long. Steps up, and here they go again. Down he goes. Number 95 on the sack. That is Matthew Mathena. Old Big Red, as they call him, drops him back to the 35-yard line. The next snap will be inside of 4 minutes. Morgan City got across midfield, but now they're going big time in the other direction. They're back into their own 35-yard line.
They've lost 17 yards since that penalty.
Knowing how wide the Tarpon defensive ends are rushing right now, you'd think maybe it could hit a draw play or something. 3rd and long. There it is. And they don't get anything there either. Number 90. Oh, there it is. Yep. Number 90, Alex Lafourche, kept driving well after the whistle, and a late hit's going to be called on Alex. And the young man from Morgan City is down on the turf. We hope he's okay. That was Hayden Barron on the carry. Lafourche had him in the grasp, and we heard the whistles, and after the whistle, he kind of fell down to the turf with him. And Coach Forsythe is going to have a little talking to with him on the sideline.
You have a 48-point lead.
I don't know in high school if this is going to be an automatic first down. They need more than 15 yards. But their trainers are attending to Barron, who's still down on the sideline. This injury timeout brought to you by Thibodaux Regional Medical Center. They're marching the football forward 15.
While we have a quick break in the action, prediction on LSU Auburn tomorrow. And then don't tell me the Tigers will win.
You're putting me on the spot here, man, and you know who I want to win the football game, certainly. You know what the heck? I'm going to go LSU 21, Auburn 17.
There you go.
Now, do I really believe that that's going to happen? That may be another story. I think the Colonels are going to win tomorrow as well.
I'm with you.
Trainers are still looking after Barron. We got guys on both sides, some green shirts and some blue shirts tending to him. Tarpon defense now jogging over to their sideline. Morgan City players are on a knee. There's 3:31 to go in this game. The Tarpons are obviously up big. I don't see any type of medical personnel here. You know, down the bay we have that ambulance that stays parked on the track. I don't see that here. So let's do this. This is going to take a little while to clear up. Let's take a 2-minute break. You're listening to Varsity Football here on ESPN New Orleans. So the outcome of this game is no longer in question. Our only concern right now is the well-being of number 27, Hayden Barron from Morgan City. He's been down on the turf for a good 4 or 5 minutes now. Dallas was telling us during the commercial break that the uniformed officers are sort of trying to get some ambulances here. Good news is that we could look to our right and see a hospital here in the Morgan City area. So if for nothing else, they're going to be close by. Young man took a carry and kind of got driven to the turf. Coach Forsythe went over there and took a peek. He's being attended to by trainers on both sides. And it looks like he's going to be getting some attention here from the medical personnel whenever they arrive at the stadium. There's 3:31 to go in the game. It is 48-0 in favor of the Tarpons. Everybody just kind of a still silence here in the stadium. Everybody hoping that Barron will be okay.
You think they'd have somebody on site, but I know the hospital is closed, but
yeah. Dallas, do you have any sort of indication as to what's going on down there?
It just looks like we're waiting on the ambulance, like you said. I think they should have one here at the games like we do, since the hospital's so close by, but it looks like it's taking a while for the ambulance to get here. It looks like they don't want to move him. That's why they're waiting for the ambulance. So it's looking pretty serious down here. It's looking pretty grim. We're just hoping for his well-being.
Thank you, man. As Ken, it looks like Syracuse is leading Clemson 27-24 with 6 minutes to go. Syracuse just forced a turnover on downs. They're going to get back possession there. We'll keep you updated on that one, as the medical personnel is looking after Hayden Barron, the sophomore from Morgan City. What is the name of the hospital here to our right? Is it Tesh or something?
I have no idea.
We'll take a peek on Google here.
You gonna give him a call?
Not quite. I think that's already been done. So teams are on the knee here on both sides. It is Tesh Regional Medical Center.
Okay.
We're sort of at a standstill, Joe. Let's take another 3-minute break as the medical personnel is tending to Hayden Barron. We'll be back in 3. South Lafourche up big over Morgan City. You're listening to ESPN New Orleans. So we do have some good news to report here, and Truck phoned this in during the commercial break. Hayden Barron, the injured Morgan City player, has movement in his arms and his legs, which is certainly good news. The original diagnosis, the trainers believe that he has a concussion, and they're going to try to get him some medical attention when the personnel arrives. But certainly being able to move your arms and your legs and everything, that's certainly very, very good news to hear.
That's a good sign.
The teams are still just sort of in a waiting period. The Tarpons are gathered around Coach Forsythe there on the far sideline. Morgan City players are on a knee. See, they have maybe opened up some gates down there, maybe for the ambulance to come push through. There's 3:31 to go in this ball game. Should it resume, the Tarpons are up big. It was a little bit of a dive run to Barron. He got hit at the line of scrimmage, driven back, and sort of dropped down hard on his shoulder head area, and he really didn't have much movement after that. He's been on the turf now for a good 10-15 minutes or so. Let's go through some scores before we probably take another break here while waiting for the personnel to arrive. Let's see what we have on the list. Oh, here comes the stretcher now onto the field. Let's see. Pulling up Bayou Preps here. We have a final score: West St. John 53, Covenant Christian Academy 7. Into the third quarter, E.D. White 49, South Terrebonne 12. Those are the only updates that we've had. Let's check on that St. Augustine-John Curtis game again. Let's see. We have John Curtis and St. Augur tied at 16 at the end of the third quarter. Nope, correction. John Curtis actually won that football game, as we've got a video here from NOLA.com of them taking a knee in the victory formation. So the Patriots get a victory, a comeback victory over St. Augustine. As the stretchers are now on the field for Hayden Barron, they're going to try to lift them up onto the medical equipment. We certainly hope that young man is okay. College football. Let's get one more scoreboard update from the Syracuse-Clemson game, then we could take another commercial break while they work on young Hayden Barron. With 3 minutes to go, Syracuse leads 27-24 over Clemson, and they're driving in Clemson territory, so the Orange are looking to maybe put a little ice on that one. Joe, let's do this. Let's take one more 3-minute break. I think that one pretty much squared away here. There's 3:31 to go in regulation. The medical personnel have arrived. They're attending to Hayden Barron. You're listening to ESPN New Orleans. We'll be right back after this break. to the medical equipment here. We are still at a standstill, 3:31 to go in regulation. And Ken, we're getting to a point now that the outcome's in question. I mean, no longer in question. Both teams have been on a knee now for a good 20, 25 minutes. I mean, are we really going to make these guys warm up and go back and play some meaningless snaps, or we may well be at a point where it's maybe kind of close to the end of the game?
Yeah, that's a good consideration, and they're just trying to immobilize the young fella.
Morgan City coaches are out there. Coach Forsythe and trainer Ryan Barbier is out there from South Lafourche. Everybody trying to make sure that Hayden Barron, the sophomore tailback from Morgan City, does get the help that he needs. It looks like there's now some movement. They're going to try to get him onto that stretcher cart and out to the ambulance to the Tesh Clinic here out to our right. As we said, the hospital is literally spitting distance away. We can see it out here to the right side of the field. And they're lifting him up onto the cart now. So everybody down the bayou that maybe listen to this at home, let's stop and say a prayer for that young man. Hopefully he's going to be okay. These two teams have battled throughout the night here. I'm not sure if we're going to play this thing out to the end. As we said, both these teams have been sitting still for an awfully long time now. But they do have the young man Barron secured. And I think some of those decisions are going to be made here in just a minute. It was such a luxury to have trainers and everything like that at these ball games, because that's something that we didn't have 20, 25 years ago.
Gives the thumbs up.
The fans give Barron a round of applause. He does have his hands in the air with 2 thumbs up. That is wonderful to see. And we certainly now just hope and wish that that young man will be okay. He is now officially off the field. And we'll see what we opt to do here. Remember, there was a 15-yard penalty after the hit, so Morgan City could play a 4th and 11 here when play resumes. It was a late hit, but in high school, remember, that is not an automatic first down. It was 3rd and a mile.
Casey, I just heard from the Morgan City coach that play will resume, and they are hoping to score one for that young man that just got injured.
Very good. Thank you, Dallas. The 3:31, as Dallas said, play will resume. We're going to play this thing out. Morgan City, as Dallas said, trying to get a touchdown for their fallen teammate here to close this game out. The ball is going to be at the South Lafourche 49-yard line. Teams are kind of doing some high knees and different things to get loose. They've been sitting on their thumbs for a good 25, 30 minutes here. See if we have a final score in that Clemson game. Syracuse is running out the clock. Final score, Syracuse 27, Clemson 24. How about that? The Orange get a win.
And how did LSU do against the Orange?
Beat them by 9. I was awfully embarrassed at the time. Not anymore. Clemson, of course, now you take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. Their quarterback did leave the game injured early in the game, but hey, you got to have somebody else ready to play.
Be interesting to hear the LSU pregame.
Yep. So it'll be 4th and 11. It looks like we're finally ready to get rolling here. Said it was dead ball, personal foul on the Tarpons, but you don't get the automatic first down, so it'll be 4th down. The down counts because it was a dead ball foul. Good job by the official there of remembering all that. That was such a long time ago.
Wind it up.
The clock will start. Alcina, straight drop. Has a little time, shoots it deep down the field, and it is going to be batted in the air and caught at the 4-yard line by DeAndre Grogan. It popped straight up in the air, and he made the grab. Good initial coverage by Kevin Hernandez. But there, Grogan just made a better play. It'll be 1st and goal for Morgan City.
Yeah, he wasn't able to knock it down. He popped it straight up in the air.
The Tigers coach Howard said they wanted to score one for Barron. Now they're 4 yards away here. 3:11 and counting. Alcina rolls right, trying to get inside, and he's into the end zone. Morgan City touchdown. Tate Alcina on the little quarterback scramble, and it's 48-6 with 3:01 to go in regulation. You know what? We root for the guys in blue, but good for Morgan City. They've had a tough night.
Yeah.
And they pushed that one into the end zone there. Looks like they're going to stay and try for the 2 here. Number 10 is now in the backfield. That's William LaRocca. He's been all over the field. Straight drop and a little fade. That is going to be caught by number 5, Grogan, for the 2. So Morgan City gets 8. It's 48-8 with 3:01 left. Dallas, it looks like the injury sort of sparked a little life in the Morgan City there.
Definitely. They a little bit of an aggressive play call going for that deep ball. It's great to see the Tigers getting a score.
Dallas might have lost its battery there in the middle of his sentence. We cut out. I know all about the struggles of that. I used that mic for a good 3 or 4 years myself.
Okay, I think I'm good. I think it was a little button malfunction. Like I was saying, it was great to see the Tigers get a score here for their fallen hero here, and I think that they just really have a high hope for him and wish him the best of luck.
Thank you, partner. Tarpon's going to have their return team on the field. 3:01 to go. Tristan McCullough will be kicking it off. The Tarpons have number 9. That's Washington back deep. As well as, who's that? Number 29, is it? Zachary Pete. Here's the kick. It's a wobbler. That may go out of bounds. It's going to roll. It's going to be fielded, and Pete was standing out of bounds as he fielded it at the 23-yard line. So the Tarpons will take over there at the 23-yard line. A few more snaps, and then we're home free. Just got to keep everybody safe here in these next couple plays. It's going to be Dan Oss under center for the Tarps. Dan Oss had that long touchdown run on the South Lafourche last drive. Figure you got another year at Baia. He's going to still be your starting quarterback next year, but after that, it may be Austin Dan Oss's team to lead.
Could very well be.
See Joseph Bagala in the game at tight end. They hand it to Washington. He's got a nice hole, lowers his shoulder, and he's going to get near the first down marker out to about the 33. So Jacoby picks up about 9 on the run.
He was the battering ram on that carry.
You name the back for the Tarpons, and they're getting yards tonight. Just about everybody who's touched the ball has had some success. That means on that offensive bus, there are going to be a lot of happy guys on the ride home. 2nd and 1, 2:25 and ticking. And they set the ball really, really late, so the Tarpons could eat up a lot of clock. There's still 16 on the play clock, which is quite frankly absurd. Now it's down to 10, and it looks like Danos is going to snap this right around 3 or so. Hand it to Washington. He's hit in the backfield, and he has dropped. There's our guy, number 24, Charles, on the stop. Out to the 31-yard line. He loses about 2 on the play. Clock running, 1:48 and counting. And still haven't set the ball. Now they do. 1:38 and counting. The officials are trying to get home to, partner.
That's it.
It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Tarpons. They don't have to snap it, and, well, they got to get out the huddle first. It's down to 6-5. They don't have to snap it to about 1:15. Danos hands it to Washington on the sweep, trying to turn the corner, breaks a tackle, and he's awfully close. awfully close. It's going to depend on the spot. Yeah, I think he might have the first down. They may measure this. Clock is going to stop at 53.2. They're going to bring the chains out. Let's see. They're going to bring the sticks out. I don't have a good unobscured view at it. Dallas, does he have the first down, partner? Give us a prediction here.
I think he's going to have it by about an inch, by the tip of the football, I think, if it's lying where I think it's going to lie.
Let's see how well Dallas knows his geography here. Let's see.
Nose of the football.
Ooh. He's got it by about an inch. One for one, Dallas.
There we go.
With 53 seconds on the clock, the Tarpons get one last Golden Motors first down. Good job by Jacoby pushing forward there.
Second and third effort on that touch.
Really, you only got one more snap here. The way that they're spotting that if you get any kind of inside run here, it'll probably be the end of the game once you run down the clock, once they start the clock here. So they started at 52. You've got 20 or so seconds to burn. Yeah, this will probably be the last snap of the game. Tarpons getting to the line of scrimmage. 37 seconds in counting. They still got 6 on the play clock. Danos muffs the snap, picks it up, and is going to go down for a loss. And, yeah, that will be the end of the game. 23 seconds in counting. So, Ken, I guess some final thoughts as the Tarpons are going to get a 48-8 victory here over Morgan City.
Not unexpected to have the Tarpons control both sides of the line of scrimmage against Morgan City tonight, and pretty much this ball game held true to form.
Dallas, some final thoughts as South Lafourche gets their 5th win of the year.
I think the Tarpons are on a great roll district-wise. We need to go into a level head next week against Edie White, who's a great opponent. But I think the Tarpons can enjoy this victory for one night. They control both sides of the ball greatly, and kudos to the Tarpons defense and offense and the coaching staff. And one last shout-out to that man that got hurt. I'm saying a prayer for him tonight. Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, Dallas. Again, yeah, that is Hayden Barron. We certainly hope he's going to be okay. We want to thank all of our sponsors for allowing us to be here. Our final score, South Lafourche 48, Morgan City 8. The Tarpons improved to 5-2 on the season, 4-0 in District 7 4A play. Keep the radio dial on ESPN New Orleans. Go vote tomorrow. Exercise your right to vote. There are a number of things on the ballot. You guys have a good night and a great weekend. Sports Corner tomorrow at 8 o'clock.